knew this would happen.
Applause is going to sound terrible because we're running it through StreamYard. So let's do it again. Annoy everybody. I'm back. I'm back, and I'm thinking, damn.
Az is back too.
Yeah, what's Az back here for? What the fuck?
I don't know.
He just didn't leave.
Thunder
He keeps coming back.
Judging by the welcome Friday, Gary. Gary fucking hijacks me on Real BBC Live. He's like,
jacks you.
I was like,
He jacks you off on.
he jacks me off.
Jacks on the grill.
And then we're doing the Real BBC. And he says, oh, so I guess you're not going to be on Friday Night Tights this week then. I was like, what? Do you want me to be on Friday Night Tights this week? He's like, yeah, really. I mean, you could come on Friday Night.
This is all bullshit. The truth of the matter is he's been in the background of the stream the whole fucking time since last week.
Whatever. And then
never close the window.
Then he's just like, it gets, I don't hear anything and I don't hear anything. And it's Valentine's Day today, and I've got my fucking date with my lady, and I'm just like, Gary wants me to do FNT tonight, but I haven't heard anything.
Well, bro, you can inflate her anytime you want, bro. It's not hard.
It's not the same on other days.
I'm up against the clock, all right?
Yes, you'll be blowing
Harry, like,
a lot of wind.
Are you wanting me on today? And then he gets back to it. He calls me. Actually, you call me. You phone me. You call me. And he just like, yeah, bro. Yeah. Can, talk to X-Ray Girl. Talk to you. So okay. So a few minutes later, as he just said, X-Ray Girl, boom, messages me. Are you on today? Yeah, I'm on today. Great stuff. Boom. Sort it out. The promo comes out for the show. Friday Night Tights with Mola. Fuck yeah.
I hope you're happy, Az. I made you
very
a
There you go.
for you.
You're on there. Az.
Is it enough? You look like a growth coming out of Molar in that.
Are you the tentacles?
Snowball.
Molar, I'm afraid to say you have a very severe case of the Az. Just saying.
He was possessing so many multiverses at the same time that he took all the Azes with him.
I'm building a team.
You're an Az. You're an Az-Ben. Get it?
Hey!
Hey, Az, I also made you this one.
Yeah.
Better.
This mole is just completely gone now. No, it's
No, that's the Az variant of Mola.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh my god. Hey, at least we've had one major question answered this week. Why? Who are the Avengers? Got answered in the in this film.
We don't have any. There are none.
It's funny. Friggy saw it on, I think, Wednesday, and he came out of it, and he was texting me, and I was like, "So, is there any word on the Avengers?" Because they mentioned it in the trailer. And he's like, "No."
What? Before we even get to that, we want to say hello to Mahler. Hello, Mahler. I know Az stole all your thunder with that 10-minute story.
Good to see everybody. You know, you didn't have to AI my voice. I would have totally provided those lines free of charge.
You hear that, Perry? That
Well, I
cracked
was
me
like,
up,
wait a
though.
minute, I don't remember recording.
That doesn't mean you didn't.
I was
That
gonna
doesn't
say,
mean you didn't.
I do tend to drink, so.
What it also means Perry probably has an AI profile of every one of our voices just ready to go.
Oh,
Ready to go.
Perry's got file after file.
Oh yeah.
Be nice
He's
to
like
Perry.
Batman. For
Harry has like privated streams and videos from people in his own little locked
His
away.
secret
In his
file.
lair.
Perfect. Yeah.
In his
Ready to
lair.
pop out at any moment.
I like how Perry put out this fucking random tweet the other day where it's like, look, here's a picture of me from Google Earth in 2008 where I was taking a smoke break outside this dog shit place I worked. I really wanted to fucking kill myself. Now I work for one of the world's greatest YouTubers. It's wild. You can chase your dreams. I noticed he didn't say that he doesn't want to kill himself anymore. One thing I noticed about that.
He hasn't
Eric
He's
actually
much
done it
happier
yet.
about it.
He looks a lot happier.
He does.
Shout out to Perry.
Perry's
No, I look
Asian,
forward
so
to
he
killing
actually
myself.
Perry's Asian. He uses Google Earth.
What?
I'm waiting for the punchline.
It was in. I heard.
Did you hear it? Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think I heard it as well.
Oh, okay. I get it. Okay.
Google Earth.
Google.
I- what is wrong with your microphone?
I am so confused still.
All I heard is Google Earth.
It's a clever.
Okay, you don't,
Maybe
you
if
don't
you
have to
explain
you
the
don't have to
term.
say it a million times, yeah.
Okay,
Chris is
it's-
just yelling slurs at this point.
We've all been there.
And now now a word from our sponsor.
You get it?
Oh,
Rumble Premium.
with a K.
Free speech is under attack, but Rumble refuses
back
to
in
back
5.
down.
Fuck, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, go pee. We've always believed in empowering voices, except for Az, no matter how unpopular. And now we're taking the fight to the next level. When major advertisers conspire, I almost went Wisconsin. Advertisers, conspired to pull their dollars. Even brands like Dunkin' Donuts turned their backs. That Dunkin' Donuts commercial on the Super Bowl was retarded, by the way. Claiming Rumble had a right-wing culture, but we're not here to fit a mold. We're here to defend free expression. To strengthen the mission, we're excited to offer Rumble Premium, a completely ad-free experience with exclusive benefits for viewers and creators. It's more than a subscription. It's a stand for free speech. Your voice matters. Join Rumble, except for us. For a limited time, you can get $10 for an annual plan using promo code Nerdrotic. Visit rumble.com premium/Nerdrotic and claim your discount today. Together, we could turn the tide. Whether you join Rumble or simply keep watching, your support helps keep free speech alive. Thank you, Rumble. We also want to shout out Geek Grind Coffee. We got some KKK cups.
Oh my god.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
What's our so you can get some free ones or something? Explain this to me, X-Ray girl.
So you use the code
I was just
NERDCUPS.
I have no script.
It's on the page.
It's right there. Get free. Are you asking me to read this, Brew? I'm American.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious if it didn't say that, and then you just sent a bunch of people over there expecting free coffee.
Yeah,
Free coffee, cake.
everybody, free coffee. Get free coffee, K-Cup samples. Use code NERDCUPS. Just pay shipping. Geekgrind.com. Look at that. And they're good. They're good.
Yep. And then there's also this as well if you want to use that instead.
Ooh.
So
Free samples.
Ale blend.
Use code FREENERD. Nerdrotic Hail Brand and Friday Night Tights Roast. FNT Roast.
All hair brand.
All hair brand. All hair brand. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Blend.
Look, can we
Right.
just beat the racism to black people today, please?
It's Black History Month. We
Later
probably should.
on.
Huh?
Yeah.
We've already
Spread it out.
covered Asian racism thanks to Chrissy, so
Yeah.
We're gonna get all of them today.
Oh, goodness.
Well, we have a lot to talk about. Mostly Captain America, or Captain African American, or Captain Un-American, or Crapton American.
I'm going to talk about fucking Cobra Kai, even if nobody else is, because
okay.
shit, what a great fucking ending to the
Jeremy
series.
was telling me about it. I had to wait to see it with Mrs. Nerdrotic tonight. So,
Same.
Could not imagine being that gay.
well, there you go. You always have something to aspire to. You know, Got to watch something with my wife once in a while. Also, I've been busy recording a Captain America 4 review that was going to be short. Now it's really long because it's really bad. It's really
black.
Because it's
phenomenally bad. But we're also going to talk a little later about Bill Burr because he's a fucking total shithead and always has been. And I'm glad to see that people are starting to recognize that this guy's always been a piece of fake shit.
Finally.
Thank you.
Finally.
Yeah. And just a whore sellout to the corporate, to the man that he wants to burn for some reason while still getting comedy specials on their platforms. Disney Hulu, Bill Burr special. He's down with the working man, everybody. And there's some other stuff.
He's only worth about 20 million. Leave him be.
He's worth $20 million.
Look, Ez, don't stand up for your fellow bald. Okay, he's a real douchebag.
And Adam McKay said something about like, Mickey 17 is an allegory for the hellscape of capitalism we're in. And I looked up his, and he's worth 60 million. So capitalism's done him pretty well. Director Adam McKay, screw that guy. So, and we got some other stuff, but we're gonna hit Captain America 4 pretty hard.
We're gonna hit him
pretty hard. Huh?
No, we're gonna smack it around. We're gonna smack that bitch up because it's fucking bad. And I will stand by. And I've got an argument that I'll make it tonight. I'll make it my video. I feel
like everyone here probably feels similarly, right?
Most definitely.
No.
We are an echo chamber, so we all agree.
Of course.
You're all just like the worse that Gary said it was, the more smug Shad got. It was like the shitty and grin just grew.
I'm just happy. What? Why is everyone looking at me?
Dude, it's as bad as the Marvels. It's as bad as the Marvels.
I would go that far.
I would go that far because okay, for one, I dare you both to go back and watch both of them again to find out.
Gary, I'm against repeated self-harm. Okay.
But I'll start out right now. The directing is so shitty. Nia DaCosta actually did a better job directing in her movie. Now, to be fair to Julian Ona, is that his name? Julius Ona. This probably isn't his final version. The final version was the one that was worse than this, according to Marvel.
I think
I want to see those versions.
I think that this movie, this is what I'll say. I think this movie is more of kind of an editing and tonal mess than the Marvels was. I will say that.
Yes.
The entire thing feels like they had an idea to do a movie. And then in the middle of filming, they're like, no, scratch this. We're going to make it an 8-episode television series. And then they filmed 8 episodes. And then somebody came down and they're like, hey, this needs to be a fucking movie again. And they were just ripping little pieces off and segments here and segments there and tried to glue it all together.
Okay. And I completely agree with you. It feels like a really bad episode of a Disney Plus show. It felt like some of the worst. Listen, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had some shitty episodes. It felt like a shitty Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode. It was a joke. It was an utter joke. Mahler, I know you did, and so did I. We rewatched Falcon and Winter Soldier before this in prep. I feel really fucking...
If anyone didn't catch the real BBC prior to this episode, I was fucking ranting for a while about how much I despised that show, getting reminded of everything in it. I think, Gary, I can't remember if you said it or somebody, but it's certainly agreed upon. The most hateful piece of shit that I think Marvel has put out might be that.
It is
at the top.
Absolutely. And there are still moments in Falcon and Winter Soldier I like better than Captain America 4. Like Baron Zemo is good. I like Baron Zemo.
And
John Walker.
John Walker.
In general, the way I feel about this movie is that its tone and its basically talking points were supposed to be very similar to Falcon and Winter Soldier. And I think
they ripped them out.
I think they're like, this is a huge fucking mistake. So they took a bunch of it out and had nothing to replace it with. Which is why it just feels so hollow and nothing.
What would give you that impression, Ryan? As well, don't say it, but like, what was Julius Ona? What was the first movie he directed again? It was a little short.
It was. Oh no, hold on. It was. It was.
Yeah.
Is it the space movie? The space movie from the 90s?
No, like that? Yes. Yes. It's got one of the words in there.
One of the words.
1992 space movie. Yes.
It's got, that was his first film. Just one word. That was it.
Just one. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
As I'm sure he was hired completely off his skill. I'm sure.
Absolutely.
What is this sexism happening here? You have to bleep as it flares, but Chrissy can say them all day. That's not fair.
He's just a bunch of.
No one could hear her thing.
No one could hear her slurs. Her microphone dies out.
Nobody can hear your slurs.
Can you hear
I have a
me
question.
now?
Yes.
Yes. I have a
Sure,
question.
it's
What
Captain
was
America. But you might have to lock your car doors when he walks by.
That happened. Well, something very similar to that happened in Falcon and Winter Soldier when yeah, it did. When he's walking around the neighborhood in Baltimore, he gets pulled over or gets stopped by the cops.
You know who would have got stopped there? Fucking Bucky. And,
Bucky ends up getting arrested.
Got stopped walking around that neighborhood, and the cops have been like, "Yo, bro, you better get out of here, man."
Yeah. For your own protection, we're gonna get you out of here. It's Baltimore, Maryland.
Bothering you?
Yeah. I know.
I don't got any ID.
Dude, the funny part, Mueller, and you know this, is Sam gets recognized in the first episode in fucking Tunisia. Okay.
Yep,
but the cops in America don't recognize him. Get the fuck out of here.
I didn't know if you didn't have the wings on.
Oh my god, yeah, I have to recognize. Oh, due to the fucking banker who was like, "Can you flap your arms for me, please?" Fucking hell.
Oh, it's so bad. So, yeah, Captain America 4 is a jumbled mess. It's a narrative mess. It is filled with, it's just it looks like a film that was shot 2 or 3 times, hobbed together. Giancarlo Esposito definitely looks like he was hired last minute and put in last minute.
Oh,
he's
in
I
think he's such a random
I think
role.
he said that in one of the red carpet interviews that he was invited on and he had to just join everything that was already there. And I think he described it as joining a hot pot of soup where everything's already boiling and you've got to just jump in and fry the same way they did. It was a really weird comment.
And if you think about his scenes, the only person he really had scenes with at all was Sam.
Sam.
That was it. Maybe the one little bit in the beginning, and I don't even know if he was in the same frame while talking to the other person.
They edited it like separately. He was not. That was not
I don't
filmed
think he
together.
was
I
there.
was seeing that.
The cops, I guess, tackle him. The extra cops that run up at that one point. Other than that, the other one's just with Sam. Like
no one really references the character.
And he's just there. He should be Captain Exposition. He's just there to give background on the leader, who they don't call the leader. Giancarlo Exposition. Very good. That's good. That's good.
I mentioned that it really looked like he was miscast in that role in the trailers, and holy crap, the movie is like 1,000 times more. He does not suit that role at all. And when he goes toe to toe with Falcon, that was one of the most retarded things that I've seen in a while.
That was terrible.
That thing comes out That comes out of nowhere because he's just driving along. The next thing he's in a fight out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It just. Was he supposed to predict the road the guy was going to go down? Is that the story?
No,
He just kind of teleported there.
Mrs. Nerdrotic's like, where in the fuck did he come from? I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea. We're laughing through the whole movie.
Drive to Mexico and he's going to turn right down this street. It's like, what?
Yeah, I know, dude.
Are you fucking kidding me? Dude, do the lorry right now. You'd be fucking way happy.
Okay, narrative mess, contrived. It's got MCU in it. It's not really woke. Ryan's right. You could fucking tell Harrison Ford's President Ross was Trump, and they cut all that out, dialed it back, reshot a bunch of shit. And you still kind of feel it.
Tell there was supposed to be way more racial narrative stuff in it originally.
Well, with Isaiah,
with Isaiah specifically, which they basically backed off, and so you get like a hint of something. You're like, is that supposed to be fucking leading somewhere? They just go on to the next part of the conversation.
Tell me about it's Robert Ebert's website, right? What was their review again?
Is wild.
It is crazy.
Not only do they make him a magical Negro, but Marvel actually makes him tap dance off screen as well. It's something to that effect. Yeah.
The American Society of Magical Negroes.
There's quite a few critics.
A black reviewer for RogerEbert.com wrote that. Obviously in reference to there's Robert Daniels.
1 star.
So there's quite a few critics that take this kind of attitude the same way they did with the American Society, where you can tell that it was supposed to be kind of racist, but it's not racist enough for me.
It wasn't racist enough. That is why the corporate critics are pissed off. If you think it's like we're all in agreement with them, no, they are mad for entirely different reasons. Than we are.
Falcon the Winter Soldier, the show was way more racist than this movie.
It is.
Oh yeah,
100%. Oh my god.
Well, did you like the bit though where he calls him son and he comes out, son,
call me
son, you
exactly. I mean, he's also like 60 years older than you, so
yeah,
fair.
What was he supposed to call him, boy?
Boy, out here, you winged boy.
Boy. Oh my god. So
but clearly, son was a stand-in word for boy.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, that's what I who knows with this? It's So out of order. So it's not woke. It does have MCU elements though, 100% with Ruth. It's Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who is essentially in the comic books. She's a mutant who works for Mossad, and she's Captain Israel. Her name, the superhero name is Sabra, but her fucking costume, like her original costume, is the Israeli flag. And she has a
Star of David.
Has a big fro.
Yeah.
Star of David.
And she's here as the lead of the Lollipop Guild.
And we talked about this before. Unless you listen, like they might have been that one mention of her, like, oh, she trained with the Israelis or something.
Something like that.
Other than her last name, you would have no idea what the origin of this character is. They definitely wanted to stay away from anything like that.
She's one of the biggest indications that something's fucking wrong with this movie. Because if you didn't know any context, you'd be like, what the hell was that? What was her role? Who the fuck was she?
I only just found out she was a mutant. I thought she was just a normal one that went around beating up guys three
No,
times.
she's not a mutant in the MCU. She's a mutant in the comics.
Oh.
No, that's for some reason they didn't make her a mutant, and they didn't. She wasn't from Mossad, and she wasn't Captain Israel. They made her a Black Widow.
But that could have fixed things, because this is the same problem with Don't Take the Serum, which they think if they repeat it 5 times throughout the movie will somehow make the problem go away. Like, if she had super strength, it would still make sense. It's like, yeah, okay, you're tiny, but at least you have superpowers.
That's got empathy. That's his power, okay? Empathy.
Well, the assassination sequence, like when everything went down in the White House, I kind of just want to watch that 2 minutes over again, because everything from the effects to the choreography to the little girl that's just like slamming tables everywhere to Isaiah throwing, like, it was maybe the worst 2 minutes I've seen in a Marvel movie in a while.
Extremely sloppy editing, like it's insane.
Yeah, the hand-to-hand combat is particularly bad.
Yes.
Can we just say
fucking like slivers of a frame, and you're like, next frame.
This is one of the worst castings. Miscast just wouldn't even cover this. She's like 4'3".
She is one of the smallest kind of actresses I've ever seen. She's tiny, tiny.
Apparently she had cancer when she was like 2 and everything, which is, that's all sad. Good that she's alive and well and everything. Wrong casting.
Wrong
absolutely hideous casting. Couldn't take it seriously at all.
In the big, like the hallway sequence where it's like a whole bunch of guys and she's standing there and you can tell the movie is like, she's fucking ready to take him. I was saying they really, I know what to expect with the MCU. So when I see stuff like that, I'm still like, oh, okay, but I saw that and I was like, well, no.
No.
And then I saw it and I was like, wow.
Mahler, Ryan just
surely
talked about
they
it.
won't.
When she picks up that fucking chair and then trips the 210-pound guy. Okay, and then you see a wide shot later on when we get to the Virginia base. She is a 10-year-old. So imagine your little 10-year-old like tripping you with a trailer and like or with a fucking chair, with a folding chair, and just knocking the shit out of people, like just destroying people. I'm like
lifting their body weight, like 230-pound fucking massive dudes, picking them up and dropping them. Like,
yep. Well, when she goes to the prison to see the guys that got mind controlled, right, and they start getting shot, and she pulls out her gun, I for like a fleeting moment was like, "You're not old enough to have a gun."
That's your bedtime.
You're here.
Yeah, and the explanation that she was a widow did not pass the muster for me. It's like that. No, that does not give her the level of fighting capacity that they're depicting her having. And
who's your husband, Jimmy Savile?
That was dark, but that deserved it.
It was pretty dark.
And if you do make that decision, right? Tom Cruise, obviously, huge action star, very short as well. The way they frame him in certain shots, the way they take care to make it look like he's not as short compared to some other stars as he really is, that's important when it comes to believability for his character.
Have him stand on a stool, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so if you are going to cast her in that role, I think you have to go out of your way to make it look like she's not 4'10".
Just cast a fucking woman who's big. I mean, there's not a shortage of women who are strong looking, athletic, and this just went to go against the grain. That's specifically what this. Let's cast the tiniest person who has a disability so we can check a few boxes and make her the head of fucking security for the president.
Yeah, but what is that? After he gets attempted assassination, he goes into the bunker where it's like the most secure area. Falcon just walks right the fuck in. Nobody stops him. He just walks right in, and he's like, "She stays. He stays. That's it." And she's like telling him, the president, what he's supposed to be doing. And it was like, who is this character? And she never really,
dude,
had a purpose in this movie.
Did you miss the huge thing there? Did you miss the huge thing in their super secret underground nuclear, safe bunker? That when he kicked everyone out and shut the door and they started shouting, everyone could fucking hear him in the next room.
It's a big window.
It wasn't even soundproof. The fucking secret room.
Wait. He was trapped in this super secret base that you could just walk around and open fucking doors.
Yeah.
There was no like security passes going on.
He was Captain America.
Okay.
My real question is, there was a Secret Service agent, the black female Secret Service agent. Is she established at any point in any other show or something? I don't remember.
Clearly,
her.
it's Anthony Mackie's fucking like side piece that he's tapping. Like that's
obviously up
he said
randomly.
that's his
Like, who is
contact or whatever, right? But I thought for a second, like, did they recast the sister or something? And that's her now. I couldn't tell. I didn't know.
It didn't make any sense.
Very confusing.
That's
Like,
really
even with the young, like even with the small like security officer, like had they actually choreographed it well, they could have made it believable, but they didn't. They made it seem like she was 10 times bigger than what she actually was, and so it made zero sense. And that's the entirety of the movie, is that it has no stakes to it whatsoever, and ultimately you leave the film saying this doesn't matter, none of it.
One of my favorite things was that black woman, the black security guard, because when you're introduced to her and then it goes to another scene where Mackie goes, "I got a person on the inside," and you're just like,
I know who it is.
I wonder who it could be.
You're not helping with the stereotyping here and the racial profiling. You're really not.
No, the problem with this movie is it really does play out like a post-Snyder, pre-gun DC movie. It's that, as a matter of fact, I can make an argument the Blue Beetle's better than this. Blue Beetle. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
At least it's funnier.
That's a good comparison. I probably would put it in Blue Beetle territory.
It's not as bad as The Flash because Ezra Miller was in it twice. But
this is the thing, right? And before it sounds like I'm going to give a defense for the film, please bear in mind I am retired.
Go ahead, have the contrarian opinion. That's so new for you.
Listen, all I'm holding you to is you said it's not bad. It is not.
We're
bad.
arguing over, like you said, it's not bad. You're not saying it's the best thing ever, which is funny.
So. Exactly. I'm not saying it's the best. In fact, I agree
still think
with
he's
all the
insane for
criticism.
saying it's not bad.
Absolutely.
And I do think this is like the water in a drought effect for me, because I went into this film expecting the worst thing in the world. I was not expecting to enjoy anything, and to my surprise, there was actually a couple of things I enjoyed in it, and that probably had
what?
an effect.
Please explain to me what.
List them in detail.
In detail. Let's hear it.
The popcorn.
I've got time. I got my coffee. Let's go.
Was it the credits?
So I actually enjoyed how they depicted his Falcon abilities. Okay, the fight in the ocean.
What?
Yeah, the fight in the ocean I found fun.
Captain America, Shad.
I think Shad has had a bad glass of milk.
Hold on. Let Shad finish. I think what he's going to say. Stop. Let Shad finish. I think he's going to talk about how he actually enjoyed the Falcon stuff, but it doesn't make any sense for a Captain America movie. Go ahead.
That's
Shad.
exactly. Well, you said it for me. Is that this could have been
Thanks,
a barely above average Falcon film, but it made for a very bad Captain America film. And for a Falcon film, I thought, it's not the worst thing ever. And there were things I enjoyed. And I actually enjoyed how they wrapped it up. Okay, I'm a bit of a sucker for a good message. And that line at the end, he gave a line that I actually thought was a noble line. And the way that he resolved the conflict with Ross was actually acceptable. And I was like, okay, that's something. Doesn't redeem all the other crap, okay, but it made for a barely tolerable experience for me.
Resolution.
Yeah. He basically said you don't need to be angry, and he was like, "Oh yeah."
There's no resolution. It just stopped.
We gotta go one at a time here.
His
Okay?
better
Many
nature.
things
And-
that are wrong.
Okay, for one, Mahler, I know what you're going to say, and I'm going to say it for you. But it's not a Falcon movie. It's a Captain America movie.
And it's a bad Captain America movie. I 100%
But that's what it is. So you can't. Doesn't matter what kind of Falcon movie it is.
Yeah, I'm not trying to defend on that ground.
It doesn't
I'm just
work
saying
if it
I
were a
enjoyed
Falcon
some of the
movie either,
Falcon
though,
stuff.
Shad, because his tech is well beyond Falcon. It's got Wakanda plus Captain America.
Can we talk
plus,
about the tech?
Plus Iron
Plot
Man.
armor. Plus plot armor.
Yeah,
All
like
right,
what
can we
the
talk
fuck
about
is
the tech?
Falcon about him anymore?
So this
Wings?
is an interesting thing. The shield is basically pointless in this entire film. He doesn't need it, and that's again why it's so dumb, like lobbing the baggage and the shadow of Captain America on this character when Falcon could have stood on his own merit. Now, for myself, this is again a bit of a subjective thing. I have always had a pet peeve that lower powered heroes aren't utilizing the tech and other things that are available in that world to help them fight on an even level. It's like the thing where people are saying, why doesn't everyone have an Iron Man suit? Okay. And to me, it would make logical sense. If you can get access to higher tech, you would upgrade if you can. And the fact that he upgraded his Falcon wings with Wakanda tech, that's something that I could accept in world. And that then explains in some, by the way, they are not consistent with this. There's the flagpole. He should be dead. Mola knows what I'm talking about. Okay. Mm-hmm. But outside of big mistakes like that, where they're not consistent, they do utilize the world building in his upgrade to explain why he's not dying every single time when he's fighting.
We gotta go fundamental here because I both agree and disagree with you, right? So the reality of this universe with how they've written it is that everyone should have an Iron Man suit now. Tony's dead, Pepper's in control, the gear is proliferated massively. They've already mass-produced loads of suits. There's just, after Endgame, there's no reason why every hero, especially someone like Falcon, should be getting an Iron Man suit. However, that's shit. No one wants to see the MCU where everyone is Iron Man. That would be awful. It was their responsibility to write it such that that would never happen. They used to try phases 1, 2, 3. It used to be like Iron Man's like, no, I'm keeping this tech to myself. Can't trust too many people with it, blah, blah, blah. But I will help you guys, with your respective power sets, your technology. And then, that went to shit by the time we go post Endgame. So it's a bit like, to me, seeing him with Wakandan Stark Cap fucking, I've seen, like, I think it was Drinker who put out a tweet basically summarizing he's got like 7 different heroes' powers all together, contrasted against his wingman who's only got Stark Tech wings.
I know, right?
Motherfucker gets squashed. It's not fair at all.
Not even fair.
It is by no means a good execution of what I would like them trying to address, but it feels like they did try it and it's barely tolerable. So I'm like, all right, you've done something there.
That's not anything.
But you've got a Captain America film where the guy was previously Falcon. So in him becoming Captain America, the mantle of Falcon is now vacated to be put up by somebody else. But in honesty, all he became was higher tech Falcon. So you actually had 2 Falcons and no Captain Americas.
And here's
the movie told me was Captain America.
Here's the interesting thing. In the entire film, I did not see Sam Wilson once. Did I look at him and think Captain America? The entire film, I like his Falcon, his old Falcon. And again, that goes to my thing where this is a really bad Captain America film, but they might have been able to make a barely above average Falcon film. And that's kind of my take.
How is this a Falcon film? It's everyman film.
Just because it could have been that doesn't mean that it is.
Yeah, but I enjoyed the Falcon parts in it. Like that fight above the ocean where he has to utilize his Falcon abilities, but it's also there's tension in it where he can't just kill them and he has to work through difficulties. I enjoyed it.
He blew himself up twice and just
okay.
Brushed through it. He literally exploded missiles by his face.
Let's give some context here to the fight. The fight we're talking about, just in case people haven't seen it and probably won't. And don't see this movie. Don't fucking waste your time. Do not waste your time. Fucking sleep. Do taxes. Mow the lawn. Jerk off. Do something else. I can get a lot in 2 hours. But so the leader, his big plan, which gets dumped in the middle of the fucking movie in 2 exposition scenes, is he wants to ruin Ross's career. He doesn't want power. He doesn't want adamantium. He's got all the, and by the way, he's able to control people's minds through the phones, through an algorithm, through the phones, because he can think of all the probabilities. Now, why doesn't he use this on the Falcon or Joaquin Torres or anybody else? Not really sure.
Have any of their medical records. Like
that's retarded.
They're like their genetic records or something to be able to do those things.
And he had access to everything that Ross had access to, which means he had access to fucking Sam Wilson's medical records, who was in the fucking lab for 2 years.
Or an actual better hero.
And the fact that he can just mind control people with flashing lights is convoluted, retarded.
His big plan was the assassination was supposed to fail. It was supposed to fail. And then he starts a war with Japan. Japan.
Japan.
I know. Okay.
Who do you think he is? Ubisoft?
I know, right? Okay, Marvel's different than our world. Ryan knows this. Japan doesn't have the biggest army in the world. Okay, they don't have a big navy. They have a defense force. And I looked it up for my video. Their Air Force has about 60,000. I don't know how many are active duty, but there's about 60,000 people. Our Air Force, in contrast, has 600,000. 300,000 are active duty.
We probably have more military might in Japan than Japan does.
Yes.
There was a weird thing in the movie where it seemed like they were trying to make the plot that it was about adamantium and they were trying to destroy the actual treaty, and that would have made sense going to war with Japan, because then the entire thing falls apart. But then I think they had to cut it, and they just went, I just doesn't like him for some reason.
Why fucking Japan? I know why Japan, because they can't think of any other country because it'll sound bad, you know? So you pick Japan. It's like, why not Canada? That would make more sense.
Yeah. No, it should have been China. It should have been China.
Yes, it should have been China.
They didn't want to do that.
Dude, at this point,
they wanted to market there. So
they should just made it aliens. Fuck it. Like, they can't.
Yeah, I know, right? You know what? It could have been the Skrulls.
No,
it could have been the Skrulls.
We're never addressing that again.
Okay, so I've got so many things that, but like, so we're in a war with Japan, and it's like 5 ships versus 5 ships and 2 fighters. 2 of the fighters get mind controlled.
Magically,
let's clear this up a little bit. It's not like, oh, we're headed there to go to war with Japan. What's happening is the treaty about
an international incident.
Exactly. The celestial that's sitting in the water, that's the first time it's been addressed in the MCU in 5 years, right? They found adamantium in there, which is harder than vibranium. And everyone rushed to claim little parts of it. And
harder than Az when he sees man tits.
Exactly. And Ross's big plan was to have this treaty with all these countries that had taken a claim to it come together and agreed to share it. And that was going to be what he thought was his last legacy as this great unifier.
What does President Harrison Ford say? I'm a wartime president. I'm ready to go to war.
Well, there's a lot of ridiculous. Hold on. There's a lot of ridiculous things like the president being on board this ship when these things are happening, like the president
telling them when to launch missiles
of the ship. There's a lot of dumb things, but it's not like they were sailing there to go to war. They were trying to race to get there.
Yeah.
That's what was happening, and because 2 of our escort fighters got mind controlled and started randomly attacking the Japanese Navy, it started an incident, right? And so they were retaliating.
So there's your kernel of a good idea of there would be an international incident and a fight to get this, like, for sure, 100%. I'm glad they addressed Tiamat, but to call this a battle, Shad, this is where I have to respectfully disagree with you. It's a fucking skirmish. It's a joke. This is one of your set pieces, and
it's a fight. When I say battle, I mean I'm talking about the fight, the engagement they had over the ocean. I enjoyed the Falcon aspects to it. I enjoyed that there was a bit of suspense that they couldn't just kill them. They had to try and resolve it in some way where they wouldn't kill the pilots and escalate it into an international incident. And that meant they had to fight out their own. Way.
Yeah,
I don't know why they were going after all the missiles rather than just taking out the planes firing the missiles.
It took way too long. So I get what you're saying, Shad, in terms of you can't just shoot down this plane. They had to do it in a way that they were able to not kill the American fighter pilots that were in there, right? So that made it more difficult than they just fucking shoot a thing explode. But with that being said, it took way too fucking long for them to handle 2 jets that were causing all of this madness.
But wouldn't that be a cause of conflict? That would be a good cause of conflict if I don't even want to call him Captain. If Anthony Mackie and his boyfriend were trying to prevent the pilots, and Ross had actually given the order to blow up the fucking planes. Because there was no conflict. What I got from the plot was
there was plot.
Well,
good for you.
I got from it. A guy wants to make Ross angry.
Right.
That's the whole plot.
That's the whole point. So
to turn into Red Hulk.
The leader was scapegoated for a movie that came out in 2008. By the way, The Incredible Hulk, The Destruction of Harlem. He was scapegoated and used by President Ross for his massive intelligence, because he had, if you remember from that movie years and years ago, he got some of Bruce Banner's blood on him, and then General Ross amped the dosage up So he can now see all probabilities and add the leader. And the leader looks like shit. And there's like the classic version of the leader, and there's an updated one that looks more brainy, right? And they decided to not do either of those that look much better in the comic books. And they went with broccoli, as Chris Gore described it. It's the best description.
Bubbly
and
head.
all he wants to fucking do is ruin Ross's career and get his daughter more mad at him. That's it.
It was a real mistake
Revenge.
to use characters and so many plot lines from other TV series and other movies, because it felt at times like season 4 of a TV series in the first episode where people meet. It's like, remember me, your sister that did this to you, and then we fell down this hole and we went along to the Arctic and 15 different people attacked us, but luckily we escaped through that helicopter. And it goes on forever. And it happens throughout the entire movie. They have to keep updating you about something that you don't care about.
Well, the news
It's
broadcast.
not even relevant to the movie, though, a lot of the
news
things they tell
broadcast
you.
right in the beginning when it's like CNN or some equivalent. They're like, and Betty Ross, the Hulk's ex-girlfriend.
Nobody. 9 people of the movie that came out in 2008.
I know. Remember when President Harrison Ford goes to his assistant, who probably knows him pretty well, right? And goes, "Have you heard from Betty, my daughter?"
Can I point out something that's monumentally retarded, right? Because it sounds like no,
the entirety of the film.
It sounds like I'm trying to throw defense for it. Like I said, I think
'Cause I am.
aspects of it are barely above average, but there is a load of retarded crap in it. Okay, and one of the dumbest things is that you can now make a Hulk with pills. It's like one of the most difficult.
You
things
just turn up
to
the gamma
backwards
just a little
engineer, and one of the most powerful beings in this universe, right? You can just make by giving someone a couple of pills now. I was like, what the hell?
My favorite bit was when they said they've been increasing the gamma radiation in the pills over time. I'm like, but he's been in the White House. They're all going to die. They've just like gamma radiation blasted through them forever.
They all turn into
The little pills,
It's like
enough.
a whole army.
And another thing that just blew my mind, we see, Captain Falcon, right? Anthony Mackie gets stabbed in the shoulder up to the hilt, right? Again, by an accountant. And so the fight scene was retarded. And so that is a crippling injury for a regular human. And he just shrugs, it's fine.
Also stabbed in the gut with a
And the gut, yes, in the
an
gut.
axe.
They covered that, you
Oh,
little
and the
nitpicker.
explanation, they said it
Kevlar.
was
Totally
Kevlar
answered
weave that
that.
saved. I'm like, what the freaking hell does that?
Vibranium weave, baby.
What, you mean like how the Hulk gets attacked by Apache helicopters or whatever they were, those futuristic helicopters, and then he just gets stabbed. with,
2 seconds later.
Like what's
Well,
but
I think-
one of my favorite bits of the film was when the leader introduces himself to Anthony Mackie and his gay Mexican boyfriend, and he says, plot exposition, and then these guys are going to stop you, and Mackie just went, you think those guys are going to stop us? Which immediately is great when you're just about to go into a fight. And I thought to myself, okay, they are well trained and they have some tech, a little bit of tech with them. It's got the shield and shit. Maybe don't give them fucking sparklers. Maybe give them guns.
Yeah,
If you want to stop them, why don't you actually put some fucking guns in there?
Well,
But no,
why wouldn't-
the sparkle sticks, which they use against Cap in Winter Soldier. But these did nothing to the fucking humans.
They were meant to fail because when he asks them, do you think these guys are going to stop me? The leader goes, long enough.
But they'll delay you.
Long enough. I'm like, any of these soldiers go like, wait a second. Did you mean you
Why don't we have
know
guns?
that we're going to
We can
fail?
stop
If
them
you
with
give us
guns.
guns, we can
Yeah.
stop them
Hold on,
permanently.
those
Why am I
guys were
doing this?
probably mind controlled, just for the record. So.
Oh, okay.
But also throughout this movie, he does actually get severely his ass kicked by random minions. Like a random police officer at one point kicks the crap out of him and is like forcing him down with his shield above him. Nothing he can do. His power levels are all over the place. He can kick a shield around 5 different guys or just get defeated by a normal bloke.
It's so annoying because there's stuff he does that he shouldn't be able to do with what we know about that he's just a normal fucking person, but they can't stop preaching about how he's just a normal fucking person, which makes him perfect to be Captain America. And considering we already had a 6-episode series that was literally just meant to desperately try to convince the audience that Sam Wilson is the right choice for Captain America, you'd think you wouldn't need an entire fucking movie to do the same goddamn thing, but that's what this movie was. Time after time, from every moment he's in a bar, Hey there, Cap. Hey, this drink's on me, Cap. Hey, you know that's Captain America right there. Hey, Cap. What's going on, Cap? It was desperate.
Can I get a loan?
Desperate.
I was saying, you better give that loan now.
Even to then
He can
bring
do
Bucky.
everything.
Yeah, Bucky came in, and
Yeah.
again, the reasons they tried to
yes.
justify him not taking the super soldier serum was retarded. It was absolutely dumb. I don't know why, but I enjoyed the line when he actually acknowledged that later on, though, where he says, "I should have taken that friggin'
The
super
reason
soldier."
Ryan,
But he's not going to.
Bucky's full
Ryan-
of shit. Yeah.
But
Ryan's
I
brought
like
it
that
up in-
line. That made me
Ryan's
chuckle.
brought it up before, but like upon rewatch, the reason they didn't give him the super soldier serum is so they could speak the line.
Is it
No
about, like,
blonde, no blonde hair, no blonde hair, no blue eyes, no superhero serum.
Mhm.
That's what that. Oh my god,
He's
I've
better.
got clips in my video.
He's
It was
better.
also, but it was
I've got-
also the
I've got-
line.
I've got 2 minutes of fucking clips in my video, okay, from Falcon and Winter Soldier that sum up the series perfectly. That's all you need to watch, and it's pretty much all black man. No blonde hair, blue eyes.
We didn't know what
It was
Black
also
man.
because of the line where it's
He
like
wanted
Captain America,
Black man.
Steve Rogers was one that you could look up to, but you are someone that they can aspire to.
Yep.
Yeah, that
It's
was
really
huge
important to see
bullshit,
somebody
man.
that looks like you hold the shield.
So how is this movie not bad with that line in there?
Look,
Yep.
More let
Explain.
Explain how you
More
cannot
like-
aspire to
Did
Captain
you, hang on,
America.
hang on.
Rogers?
Did you not hear? And I am retarded, so
I mean, we all are, so it's okay.
Yeah, you can't use that as an excuse.
Yeah, it was meant to be retarded, Mahler.
We're all retarded here, buddy.
It works for some people, but not everybody.
Mhm.
The movie was so strange because it flip flopped, like we were talking about. It's just got so many different aspects of different movies in here. But a lot of the reshoots, and I'm assuming that these are the later on reshoots, are addressing things that people are specifically making videos about and talking about, like why he shouldn't be able to fight the Hulk.
Yep.
Like all these
Yeah,
things. Like literally, he's
It was
talking.
very
he's
reactionary.
It's
talking
reactionary.
the Hulk
Thank
down,
you.
and he
Brian.
goes, "You and I both know that you could kill me with a punch," and it was clearly a reshoot. He
Yes.
should have.
The
It was
blue
so
screen
obvious.
looked awful behind
Yeah.
him in that.
I
Like
was
the
confused because they'd already had the explosion, and they've both been blown back. The Hulk and Anthony Mackie, and then they found him buried in fucking 12-inch concrete.
Which would have crushed him. Oh, vibranium
Which-
suit.
Been dead.
Bro.
Then he gets up and goes,
But he only had one
"You
wing.
can beat me with one punch."
He had no helmet either.
He had no
No
helmet.
helmet. Yeah, he was.
Yeah, no helmet.
He died about 15 fucking times in the film.
Yes, he
the-
did.
Also,
But
what were his
some of
legs?
the movies.
The thing about his
Nobody
suit
can beat
too,
him.
are his legs actually a part of this either? Because I thought to myself, man, even going at that speed, even with those wings, you're landing on those feet without having some type of support because it didn't look like he had any like
got the
crazy
Dark
armor
Knight
there.
No,
Rises little
it's
knee
all
thing.
bullshit, and this
Yeah.
whole like
Bad
lack
for
of
knees.
serum thing is a major issue, and they can't account for it, right? To have Bucky basically imply Captain America's cool and all, but none of us can be him without the super soldier serum. So really, not so much. But hey, Sam Wilson, fucking legendary Falcon man, we can all imagine being you, because you don't have the serum. You do, however, have billions of dollars of technology attached to you that basically make you Iron Man, but more powerful. Just, he's got 2 drones now that fire Iron Man lasers and missiles. It's like, what the fuck is this? I don't understand. Like, how can you say like the message is like, see, you can look up to him? It's like, no, I can't. I don't have any of that. I couldn't even fly. Like that was
His
just
partner
some
gets his
side point.
ass kicked because he doesn't have the same shit that he
He's
does.
covered
Like,
in Deus
to be-
Ex Wakanda. That's
To
what
be
he's
absolutely
covered in.
clear,
Yeah.
Bucky is completely wrong. Steve is actually far more achievable in terms of if you just go to the gym every single day, try your best to improve all of your agility, your skill. Obviously, you'll never be a super soldier, but at least you can try to spy. But how the fuck are you gonna be like, yeah, I'll just grab some vibranium shielding, some vibranium wings, missiles, lasers, thrusters, everything you could fucking imagine. He didn't have the stupid helmet thing in this because he hated it, right? That's why it's just
Yeah, and
this
he-
obvious.
the
weak
hat-
spot.
the hat-
The
but
cowl,
when,
yeah.
And why
when
would
the
you ever
Hulk
take that off?
grabbed
The,
him in the
amount
head-
of, the number of times that he took the helmet off.
Oh my god, the
in the
Ant-Man
middle
helmet,
of
yeah.
firefights, in the middle of all this shit, just so we can see. By the way, did you know a black man's playing Captain America?
I wasn't
Wild.
sure. I'm glad they
All the
reminded
new
me.
suit just popped up out of fucking nowhere. He's got this white suit for the whole thing. He takes the white suit out with him. It's the only thing he's had. Nothing else has ever been established. Then he's going to come up against Red Hulk. Blue. I've got a blue suit now.
No.
no,
Hold
his
on.
boyfriend made it.
No, when he was in the office. So he had the white suit when he was fucking getting his ass kicked by that one just slightly bigger guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And ripped and everything. When they were back in the Captain America office,
Lemon Cloak from Game of Thrones,
Echo Base or wherever the fuck they went. He opened the closet and that blue suit was there. So they grabbed it before they even went on that.
Yeah.
Sojourn.
Yeah. Okay. Can we also point out that somehow Sam did get a loan and got a Captain America base?
Oh yeah, he's got a lot of money.
He's got money now, baby. Well, he's got money now because he has to plot-wise. It's so fucking pathetic. Like I hate how little. I was saying this on Open Bar. Like this film is just the same as the rest of the Phase 4 and 5, where just some director, some writer get handed the project and they go, "I want to talk about this thing." It's like, oh, you can't because of all this history. They're like, "No, I want to talk about this thing." You're like, fucking fine, I guess, because now nothing makes sense with Falcon the Winter Soldier, which already didn't make any sense with the MCU. Also, just to wrap up on the point about Steve versus, I got a lot on this. Okay,
good. That's all right.
They're implying that Sam Wilson is a better man than Steve Rogers.
Yes, they are.
Completely counterintuitive to the entire reason Steve Rogers was able to become Captain America.
Yes.
Well, so that's the thing. When Bucky does his little speech about like how essentially the serum stops you from being able to aspire to Steve, meanwhile not with Falcon. It's like that's not even that was never the point of Captain America. It was never They were explicit about this in the first movie. It's really not the serum makes you. I didn't even mind that. That was a line in Falcon the Winter Soldier, right, where Lamar says, "Surely it just makes you more of what you are." Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair, Walker, and Zemo, like just tiny aspects of the show that weren't entirely cringe. Anyway, the nature of like having it make you more of what you are is entirely what Erskine talks to Steve about. First film is not, from my point of view, is not about Steve like desperately trying to prove that he can be Captain America. He's this really good man who like instills all of his values into the icon.
I can do this all day. He's a little guy. He's gonna fight.
That's one of the things. Because that's one of the things I love about that first film so much is that basically his personality, his character didn't change. He was always a hero. He was always sticking up for the little guy.
He jumped on the grenade.
Exactly.
No thought. Jump on the grenade. Yeah.
And he didn't necessarily need a call to action moment to become more noble because that's who he was from the very beginning. Well, and I love that about his character.
Well, I get what you're saying, but there is technically right. It's tests. So that grenade is one of the first tests that's like prompted almost in universe as an actual test. But then his real test comes in of we got all these guys across enemy lines. We're going to blow the place up. They're just forgotten. They're collateral damage. It's too bad. And he has a chance to risk everything to go and see if he can try and help them. And he does. He brings them back. And it's that moment in the film where the theme kicks in. We're just like, he's Captain America. Holy shit. Look at him go. And he never has to have everybody demanding that he's earned it. Or everyone saying, like, what does it mean to hold that shield when you've got this horrible history of being of oppression, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No. It's all about core human nature traits that everybody would find inspiring. And then the second film, right, Winter Soldier, for the record, I'm not a huge, major fan of it, but I really like the trilogy's story, and I like what it does for Cap in general, right? Winter Soldier's a huge test of his zeal. It's like, it's pretty easy to fight for America when you're against something like the Nazis, but how complicated is it when the lines get blurred, and what are we dealing with? And his big tests in that involve like the defense of someone like Bucky, who's he believes has like good character, good spirit within him, but on the outside is a fucking horrifying assassin who is actively shooting him to death. So you have to like solve that problem, solve SHIELD within Hydra, freedom versus security, all these blurry lines, and he's going to stay stalwart to the point where he has to defy Fury as well, right? This shit, really, really powerful stuff in terms of the character. And then Civil War, I'm trying to be as fast as I can here. The fact that he has to stand up against Iron Man to defend Winter Soldier, and you'd be like, what the fuck? How could you ever get in that situation? It's like, because of his principles, which he makes clear throughout the whole film. That's what the whole film is about, right? Plant yourself like a tree, never let them compromise, and always do what's right, no matter what. It's the individual's power and the individual's right to choose. There's never a point where we're all going like, I don't know if you should be Captain America, buddy. I don't know. Have you earned that right? Yeah. Have you earned it? Falcon the Winter Soldier and this movie are constantly insecurities just everywhere. Everyone's shouting at him, "You are Captain America!" Definitely,
yep.
100%.
Everything he does is in front of a phone or during a broadcast television thing. No, Mahler, they shit on Cap. Like that whole scene where that dude is talking to Freckled Jesus and he goes, I never thought there could be another Captain America till I met you, because the lines are blurred. It's good and bad. And it's like, the lines are blurred. What the fuck was the Captain America trilogy about?
Gary, they called Isaiah another Captain America. I was like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on?
Forgotten Captain. Yeah.
At this point, everybody who fights as an American is Captain America, I guess. Is Iron Man Captain America too? If that's all the requirements are? Like, why are we doing it this way?
So
Yeah.
Isaiah,
I am
was like-
Spartacus. I am Captain America.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, but wasn't Isaiah like introduced in like the late 2000s,
2003, in truth. Yeah.
Oh, he was Captain America like 70 years ago, and
Kyle
they did a
Baker,
lot of
and he was like,
experiments on blacks, and
they
used him
changed
for
a little
this.
bit MCU, but they made it. He was a test subject basically.
I thought he was just a super soldier that did like covert missions. Yes, are you saying that he actually had the Captain America?
He is Captain America Tuskegee experiment.
Yeah, he's like kind of a retcon.
They're trying to
replicate it.
They even talk about it. They talk about it a lot in Falcon and Winter Soldier. So, but that is based on a comic that sold 5s and 10s of copies.
And yeah, and we're at the point where you come all the way back to why the fuck isn't he just Falcon? Falcon was his character, his icon, his idea, and he inspired plenty of people himself. He didn't have to be. And then why? Because upon rewatching Falcon Winter Soldier, how bad is it, Gary? How hand-me-down Falcon as a role is? He has his wings in like a duffel bag, and he just throws them to that Joaquin guy and says, yeah, you can just have them. It's like, fuck the Falcon role. I got my Captain America role now. It's like, oh, fucking hell, man. This is all wrong. Everything's backwards.
No, well, the thing is, they went through that whole effort to convince you that a black man could carry the shield, and then they just fucking half-ass a piece of shit movie that they put him in. Like,
well, what's funny is like
you can understand why everybody's mad.
Recycled Falcon and Winter Soldier like plot points. It just
and so much emphasis on how important the shield is. And he doesn't even need it anymore. He doesn't need the shield to block things. He's got the wings that does that perfectly fine. It's now, and he doesn't need it as a projectile. He's got his own things that he can shoot. It's just there kind of like as a tag on secondary thought.
Almost like he's not actually Captain America.
And a reminder that he's throwing it with the same speed as a super soldier.
Missing the mark. Right. Because they're so consumed with the shield and the star and the title of Captain America that they don't understand that when we say Steve Rogers is Captain America, we're not just fucking saying this dude is. Captain America is Steve Rogers. Steve Rogers emulates everything that Captain America stands for. It's not a mantle. All this fucking wank about mantles. They just think it's something to be passed on to the next fucking DIY guy. No, there's a reason why Bruce Wayne's fucking Batman, Clark Kent's Superman. You know, it's a reason why fucking Steve Rogers is Captain America, because what happens every time in the comics that they take it away, they give it to Bucky, they give it to fucking Anthony Mackie. And what happens? It always comes back because the people who are interested in Captain America are there because of Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we've said it a million times, but it clearly hasn't gotten through to Marvel. You own the company Marvel Comics. Technically, right now, Kevin Feige is in charge of Marvel Comics. Sam Wilson's Captain America has failed multiple times. They're trying it again, and it's going to fail again because it doesn't work.
And you know what's annoying? Oh, sorry.
Well, you stick with Falcon. You want to make Falcon more prominent? You give him a solo issue. You put the two best creators on it, and you do what DC did with. I know a lot of people don't like Alan Moore, but undeniably, when he got on Swamp Thing, he made it a huge thing. You do what Marvel did with Daredevil. You put fucking Frank Miller on it. You put your top talent on it, and he takes this, blind, goofy, well, some people thought it was goofy. I always thought it was cool, character, and make him a seminal character. That's what you do. You know what? You really behind this shit. You take Falcon, the second black character in Marvel Comics, and you put some resources behind it. You get the best creators, whoever the fuck they are, and not just a black man writing a black character. Find the best writer to write the character, and then stick with it for a long fucking time. Show me how much you really believe in the cause and all this identity politics bullshit, which you don't. Which Disney never did. There's an article that we tried to cover last week, but it was too long. But in that article, it was the LA Times, and it was utterly shocked that all these companies are backing away from DEI. And it turns out that they were utterly shocked that these corporations were never about the cause. No, they weren't. They're never about your stupid fucking cause, because that cause doesn't exist. Sounds like it was funded by USAID, but we can get into that later.
Gary, can I jump onto something that you're saying? Because I think you really hit something important there, right? Is that they never had any confidence in Falcon. And I find that particularly frustrating, because there were as one of the few people that found parts of this film enjoyable, right? Those parts that I found enjoyable were the parts all about Falcon and Anthony Mackie's portrayal of Sam Wilson. I actually found him at times charismatic, fun, and enjoyable. Like his line, should have taken that super soldier serum, buckets full of it. That was a funny line, good delivery. And it actually, for me, showed the potential that, hang on, they really could have actually made Falcon work. Like Anthony Mackie could have actually made this character in the MCU a prominent mainstream title character. And instead, they have no confidence in it. They abandoned it completely, and they tried to shove him into the Captain America role, which pisses me off.
Like Falcon and Winter Soldier could have been a really fun series. A good concept.
Good buddy cop.
And it could have led up to Falcon leading the new Avengers. That's completely logical.
Falcon worked. Sorry, 2 seconds. Falcon worked. And it just shows actually how fucking racist Marvel are. These people that call us racist and sexist and all this all day fucking long. This is a fucking legitimate character. Captain America and Falcon. Been going for 60 odd fucking years.
Who's the first black action figure for Marvel? The Mego Falcon. That came out in the early 70s.
And what do they do to Falcon? What do they do to Falcon? As Maul said, what they do in the fucking show is he throws his fucking wings away because he's got a white man's fucking legitimacy.
Yeah,
I've got a white man's legitimacy. Fuck my black shit. That can go to this Torres bitch. Nobody cares about that. There's no legitimacy in what he's established for 60 fucking years in the comics. And that is just a fucking huge fucking insult to the character. But as Eric July says, and he said it for fucking ages, they only see legitimacy in white characters, and that's why they always want to usurp the white characters. He was his own fucking man.
Mahler has said it best with Falcon and Winter Soldier in this movie. It's insecure as hell.
That's what all of Hollywood is, though. If you look at the Hollywood roles now, DEI has essentially put a load of people there that they know didn't earn it. They got forced into positions, and they feel insecure. She-Hulk had the same storyline. She got hired because she was She-Hulk in a lawyer's job, and she walks past a load of other lawyers going, well, they never had to feel like this, whether they've earned it or not. No, because they went through the legitimate thing.
Thanks for reminding me.
This is their own personal experience they're projecting onto a role, and they've essentially been seeking all these, and their entire life has been, all these guys don't deserve to be there, I should be there, and they're just writing it into their stories. It is writing what you know.
That as an addendum is that he had put stuff. So in the way that, like, in this universe, in this continuity, we meet Steve, and then his values, his challenges, his choices, they all pour into the icon that is Captain America in that world, and certainly somewhat for the audience. When we think of Captain America, we're usually thinking of Steve's choices, all the different things he embodies and all the challenges he overcomes. It's not like Falcon hadn't done these things in his... He's kind of like Bucky in the sense that he's a side supporting character for Cap in his trilogy that you'd assume eventually gets to have more of a spotlight, which is what the TV show could have done, but instead it fucking destroyed both of those characters. Yeah. In any case, all of that character that Steve pours into the icon of Captain America, it feels like Falcon's trying to sap it out in his own movie. It's like, this is me now. And it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You were working on trying to put all this value into Falcon as an icon. You've abandoned it, tossed it to someone who's going to even remember that guy's name? Like, what the fuck was that? Falcon's dead now as like an icon. Captain America is this beacon in the MCU that is constantly, like Iron Man, having these parasites on it trying to suck out all of its blood. And you're just like, can you fuck off?
It's imposter syndrome.
That's kind of the wild part about the end sequence when he's there in the hospital room with Joaquin. And, Joaquin's like, man, I wanted to be you, man. I wanted to be you.
I was going to bring that up.
Yeah, like that could have actually worked, but the problem is he's not him anymore.
Yeah,
fake ass Captain America.
Well, and imagine in like Civil War with the final fight, Cap's like, I've actually been upgrading, and he has wings now with vibranium shielding and vibranium, and then like Ant-Man's helmet. We'd be like, what the fuck is going on?
Actually, that is a great point. There would be such outcry that a white man is stealing a black guy's identity.
I wasn't even going in that direction. Sheer nerd enjoyment of just that's not Cap's ability. That's not his move set. What is this? But people, I feel like, are less inclined to complain with Falcon because he's already thrown away his mantle, his icon, what he was building. It's like, well, if he doesn't care about it, why should we? Whatever the hell this is now, this is him, the hodgepodge fucking Happy Meal hero who's just filled with random
Happy
toys.
Meal hero. That's great.
Well, and it's very accurate to say he's a hodgepodge. Because like the whole thing with the wings and the shield just don't fucking work, and you see it in the movie. It's like I thought about these things reading the comic book, but you actually see it where he's like holding the shield out in front of him. And it's like,
sorry, you said the shield is redundant.
No, it makes no sense. What if the shield bounces off something randomly and cuts off his fucking wing?
Yeah,
you know, like it's dumb. So for context,
sorry for talking over you, Ian. I didn't mean it. Gary's triggering me with his false accusation.
Christy, what were you gonna say?
Oh God, I forget. I think he can do everything Steve Rogers can do, but swim, and that's okay.
Thank you, Chrissy.
Do we know what the Rotten Tomatoes score was on this?
Critics around 50%, audience around 80, 82.
Yeah, but that's verified audience.
Critics is 41%.
Audience score, well, maybe over on Metacritic, not on Rotten Tomatoes, right?
No, on Rotten Tomatoes, top critics is 41%.
Oh, top critics, sorry,
yeah,
my bad. Yeah. So one of the things with audience scores, and people are going to use this a lot to be like, look, we told you this movie was good, we promise. Ever since they've gone to the verified audience score, obviously that's going to filter out a lot of people who could potentially go in there, whether they have or haven't seen the movie, because you have to jump through all these hoops. Just keep in mind the difference in audience scores between a super successful movie versus a complete and total flop aren't that different now for these MCU movies.
They're not.
Deadpool and Wolverine, 96% audience score. The Marvels, 80% audience score.
Yeah, let's go to
because it's so folks, because now you do have those verifications in place. The only people who are going to go and fucking give those scores and even participate are people that are already interested in going to the movie.
Right. You're right. Ryan's right. The Marvels currently is sitting at an 80% Rotten Tomato score, widely considered the worst Marvel movie ever made as an 80% right. Whatever. On that one. To give you context,
in a post Rotten Tomatoes verified audience score world, it's important to note that and with those 80% audience scores, clearly we're grading on a curve. Eternals is like 79 or 80%.
How many people love the Eternals?
The only thing lower than Captain America's Rotten Tomato score is his credit score.
Well, he couldn't get a loan in all fairness. So, you know,
Az was talking about this earlier. To give context to what they changed in the movie, one of the things I absolutely know they changed is in the fight scene between the Red Hulk and Sam. The Red Hulk hit. I mean, it's on the poster. The Red Hulk hit Sam in the shield, which would turn him into jelly because he didn't take the fucking serum. And people within Marvel, so that was already made and shot, and the CG was done, and it gets into the editing, it gets in the post, and then people were going, "No, this wouldn't happen. You can't do this." So it got to some comic fans, and it actually got them to change it, but it was there. And again, I was told that the version we're seeing is better than the first version.
That's so asinine because you literally see him bouncing off cars when he gets hit.
And again, it wasn't test screenings, it was internal screenings. It didn't make it past the people in Marvel.
Right.
And those I was looking for that. I was actually kind of waiting for it. Are they going to do him blocking with the shield thing? And because they didn't, I probably gave it a bit too much charity, thinking, okay, at least they're trying to be aware and go around. Because there is one thing that they fail completely. It's when the Hulk, the Red Hulk, swings a flagpole at him and he stops it with his hands. It's like, no, that's his hands.
He's using his Falcon abilities, Shad. He's using
I could have accepted if he blocked it with his wings because of the bull.
I thought you were going to say
his arm should have he should have had a sling through his arm should still be attached to the
I don't know. From a Hulk, it should have made him explode like from a Hulk. Like these guys are world-breaking power level, creatures. There's no friggin' way in hell that he could block that with his arms. Not a chance.
No, hey Gary, not remember the 90s at DC where they all did kind of like a thing where Batman got his back broken and Jean-Paul.
I was going to bring this up as
took over from Wonder Woman.
John Walker taking over for Captain America. There was a whole theme behind these characters taking the mantle and proving that it's not a mantle.
Yes.
It is Bruce Wayne as Batman, Steve Rogers as Captain America. Like they've done this with almost they've done it with Thor. They've done it with a ton of heroes. And it was the whole point of it was to make you miss the original one. It gives you a new one. You can put Thor in a fucking jacket now, and you could have the super violent Batman or the super violent Captain America. But ultimately you have to go back to the other one because it's the individual who's special.
The entire hero story has changed because Batman, he didn't need to go out and constantly be told, you are Batman, you're a hero, you're amazing. Because he just did what he did because that was the person he is. Whereas in this, it was the same with Captain Marvel. She had to realize how powerful she was all along and everyone had to start congratulating her. That's what this is. He has to accept that I can actually take on the heavy weight of this shield while people constantly affirm him all the time.
The continuous affirmation got
I like this one.
The show was supposed to do all this. It was like, why are we doing it again? Why did you spend
no one watched the show?
That's the reality of it.
Exactly.
Well, I think it's even worse than that. It's that culturally speaking, this is never gonna work. No matter how much time you push it, it's never gonna work. No one is gonna think Captain America, Falcon. It's like no, not gonna happen. I mean, it would be hard to do with great films, but this is.
And like I said, I did not see him as Captain America a single time. He was always Falcon. And I still see him as Falcon. They did not achieve it in this film. And so they're either going to keep failing, and which is, Marvel with how smart they are, they'll probably keep doing that, or they need to backtrack and have him realize, no, I am Falcon, embrace that identity, and bring Steve Rogers back and let him take up the mantle.
In the trailer, there's a better bit where Harrison Ford tells him, you're not Captain America. And he goes, I know. And you kind of think after that he's going to do something to prove it. He's going to, through his deeds and his actions, prove everyone wrong. Whereas this, he just gets angry and storms out. Yeah, it's entirely opposite what the trailer suggested.
Whose funeral was it?
Steve Rogers.
Whose funeral was it that got completely cut from the movie that's in the trailers?
I have no clue.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, exactly. I completely forgot about that.
Whole fucking funeral in the trailers.
It was Marvel's.
Yeah.
Isaiah Bradley's.
I thought it was going to be Isaiah. I thought he was going to be killed.
But there weren't extensive reshoots. It only cost $180 million to make this. There's no evidence whatsoever.
$180 million, guys. And if you are pushing misinformation, if you don't believe what Disney and all the access media have told you word for word. So now we're going to see the autopsy of this film like fucking early from Vulture. And Ryan, I think you guys covered this.
Hang on. What if I just saw in chat, this could have been, what if it was going to be Steve Rogers' funeral? What if
well, no, he ain't dead. They made a very point.
I know.
He's gone. He is gone.
The first, the second, or the third?
I don't know.
Exactly.
You pick.
My guess, it's been a rule to never announce he's dead ever since Endgame. I'd assume.
Yeah. By the way, I take it that the Bucky cameo was filmed yesterday.
I love that there's this big threat going on. Yeah, and he's like, I got to go catch a plane. Good luck.
Yeah. Gotta go campaign fund.
He's campaigning to be a congressman.
Yeah. Congressman Bond.
Yeah.
I think everyone knew this is probably not going to be a good film.
No shit.
No shit.
You're racist.
Guys,
on the movie, by the way. That's what this is. It's an interview with somebody who was a technical assistant or production assistant or something on the movie itself, coming out and saying some of the behind the scenes stuff they had. All the first two paragraphs are just like, oh, by the way, here's this thing that's coming out. It cost a lot of money, and there's been some controversy surrounding it, and blah blah blah. Here's the actual part.
Yes, according to a technical crew member on Captain America: Brave New Low, who was present and on set and has acknowledged the film's post-production process, Disney is all too aware of its potential liabilities. Yes, it was. I talked to somebody in a pretty similar position, we'll just say. Take it from what you want. On the heels of disastrous test screenings last year, that necessitate a lengthy 22 days of reshoots, the 11th hour edition of a new supervillain played by Giancarlo Esposito, who I think he's a good actor. He's completely useless in this movie.
11th hour. The first film without him.
I reckon he made the film worse. He was so out of place, and his role in it was.
This movie has a good cast. It's got a good cast. Tim Blake Nelson, Harrison Ford, Giancarlo Esposito, and they all fucking suck it. Harrison Ford is a parody in this. His fucking speeches at the beginning are, and maybe it's in contrast to the real presidency, which is far more entertaining than we got going on. I remember when he says, "I really want to accomplish this in my first 100 days," and you just think about what our real president's been accomplishing in fucking 10 days. But you're like, oh, that's cute. But
that's one of the bits when they're getting him out where I think in the original scene he probably did get shot, because at one point they walk up to this random guy with grey hair and go, "Come this way, Mr. President." Not Harrison Ford at all. It just looks like an entirely different person. So bizarre.
The body double.
I thought he's the most entertaining thing about the whole film was Harrison Ford.
I like this little angry smash on the
His
table
fist
when he got mad.
smash on the table was funny as fuck. I thought.
It's like,
no one even comments on it. Like, how did you smash a marble table? That's weird.
I'm sorry, sir. You're 88.
Dude,
your whole arm is going to be purple now.
The shield around the place, and now it's fucking leg turning into jelly.
I had to boost my volume. I'm not blowing you guys out, right?
No,
Something's
you're
going on
not
with my
blowing
volume.
us.
I'm not blowing you right now.
Save that for your wife.
It is Valentine's Day, and if you play it,
Blow us in the whole chat.
Valentine's Day.
Gary, you introduced the stream with jerking someone off, and now it's blowing inside.
That was backstage.
Sounds like a day in the week for Friday Night Tights. There you go. Yeah, so like Harrison Ford's whole performance was terrible. Like he was bad. He was like really.
I loved him. I loved him legit.
He was bad though.
He was fucking bad.
He was the most entertaining thing in the whole fucking show
by being horrifically bad, and like he can still put it, like he's good. You know, he'll be in 1923 in a couple of weeks, and he'll be great in that. But
well, the problem is he was just himself. I mean, he's Harrison Ford, and
he doesn't play anything like William Hurt did. Like
correct, and that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Is he's coming in and he's playing a role that we've seen multiple times over years in the MCU of a character, and he wasn't playing that portrayal. He was playing his portrayal of that character.
Dude, when he hulks out,
which
it's
is why
so
it
bad.
felt weird.
It is so fucking cringe when he fucking hulks out. It is like
There's a scene
That's
of it
what
where
the money's for.
he's crushing pipes on a ship. He's crushing pipes on a ship, and there's a woman walks behind him, and she sees him let go. He would have destroyed the ship in front of it. Like, no, nobody notices there's a Hulk until later on.
Yeah, it's fine. Major sequences being cut in the let's back up a little bit. The 11th hour edition of new supervillain played by Giancarlo Esposito, who was Sidewinder, just looked a little bit different than he did in the comics. Major sequence being cut, and the film's release date being punted to February last year. Remember, this was in two prime spots, Ryan. 2 prime spots for summer. It was May, and then pushed to Deadpool July, and then Deadpool and Wolverine was rushed to put in its spot, and they kicked it to the dead zone. That is February.
And Black History Month.
Black History, which they decided to like, let's cut down on the Black History Month stuff. And maybe the Pride Month stuff too. In particular, Harrison Ford's Red Hulk, Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross character created uncomfortable political resonances. A demagogic military leader who transforms into a rampaging orange-skinned red. It's red. Shut up. Okay.
Come on.
God. Fucking the Nazi panic that is going on right now, that is worse than any whatever satanic panic happened in the past, is still going, folks. It's still going.
Would you say the red hue of his skin had an orange tint to it? It was
a little bit. I mean, sure. You can like to say you can't see some things, especially with the way they're treating him, but they were way more apologetic than they would have been. That's what I think the big change is, right? They were like, if you just admit you completely suck and did everything wrong and lock yourself in jail, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
You know, that was pretty much it, you know? Oh fuck. Let me get through this, and then we'll get to Liv Tyler, who I think was CG'd in. Why did they keep her behind? Dude, you can't tell. I'm like in a big theater, and I'm like, I think she's CG'd. I don't think she's there with
close-ups.
No,
she had nothing. It was just that one shot of her behind the bars.
Yeah, she's probably green screened in.
So if that is all CG, like, do you think they have the rights to her likeness then to use her as the character?
It was her voice. I think it's her. They made a big.
Well, you can AI the voice now.
Hold on.
What happened?
She was at the premiere and everything. That was fucking her.
Yeah.
Like, that was her voice and everything.
I understand that. No, I'm just
Not
saying
that she was
no,
green
no.
screen. She
Well,
was shot separately
I
from
think
Anthony
green
Mackie.
screen,
and
that's what I
screened
meant. She was shot
She just-
separately and
she-
added in. There's something very.
The reason why I would assume she was composited is because of the fact that they don't have any scene with her and Ross together.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Like
She's on the
holding hands.
phone, but that's it.
And they're also like, please don't move. This will cost us tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Only 3 steps in and don't move.
And for what
Didn't you just
purpose?
look
It's not like people are gonna see that and hear about it and think, oh, I have to see this movie now because Liv Tyler's back in
Yeah,
it.
I don't think they fucking AI'd her. I absolutely agree that they just threw her in front of a green screen, shot a quick scene, and
Did you like the whole plot line though? It was Betty doesn't talk to me anymore. She doesn't talk to me. She doesn't like me. I'm gonna call her up. Oh fuck, she picked up.
she's still, she's super mad that I went over her after her ex-boyfriend that I've clearly moved on from. And you know what? Considering that the Hulk is Mark Ruffalo now, I completely see why she would break up with him.
Too much estrogen.
Yeah. Okay, so from February last year, in particular, Harrison Ford's Red Hulk, Thaddeus Ross, character created some uncomfortable political reticence, a demagogic military leader who transforms into a rampaging orange-skinned superhuman. The character shares certain unmistakable traits with Donald Trump.
So he's a superhuman?
Okay.
How many more did Trump make in the last 4 years? Just FYI.
How old is Trump and is still going strong and fit, seemingly fit and healthy? Like
running on McDonald's.
Yeah. All that McDonald's superpowers.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe if the Hulk was sitting down citing executive orders, I might have seen it. But to be sure, the reshoots took place last summer, long before the 45th president was certain of becoming the president of the United States. 47. Some of us knew that beforehand back then. But in recognition of what one insider calls an increasingly politicized environment. Okay. Increasingly, you fucking you disingenuous pieces of fucking shit. We are at the fucking peak. We are not. It's not increasing. You increased it, Disney and Hollywood, and we're fucking done with it. And it's just started happening. All of a sudden, what's funny is we're going to start seeing people like Bill Burr and Hollywood calling out the government, something they've taken 4 years off of.
Well, that's what it is. This person that says that it's increasingly getting politicized. It's only because they're losing.
Yes.
Because if it wasn't, it would have been. There's no culture war. There's nothing bad happening. We're in complete power. But now that they're losing and that they're on the back foot, they're going. Everything's getting politicized. What's up with this?
Yeah,
they consider sort of the progressive march through history just to be a matter of fact of reality.
That should be default.
And so that's default. That's normal. And by moving it anywhere else, it's sort of abnormal. Yeah.
I love how. So Disney changed the sequel's original title from New World Order to comparatively what's that word? Anodyne? Brave New World. Brave New World. Anodyne. Sorry, I'm retarded. Almost as much as
we're never gonna get through this fucking article. Yeah, you know.
Welcome to Friday Night Tights, Ryan. Indeed, in July, the studio altered a theatrical trailer featuring footage of an assassination attempt on Ross' character out of sensitivity around a deadly attempt on Trump's life. Yeah, it's kind of funny that they had a fake Manchurian candidate try to kill a president, and then we had a real one try to kill a presidential candidate. Strange. Truth is stranger in fiction. Moreover, the source, who worked on several Marvel television and film projects and spoke on condition of anonymity because the person was not authorized to comment publicly, described a high degree of difficulty on the reshoots and action set pieces that ran up the budget. Compounding the budget of the $180 million budget. Compounding matters, Ford, now 82, lived up to his reputation as a legendary curmudgeon on set. You knew what you're getting into.
Yep.
According to the source, I love him for it. Good for him. Making matters more difficult for Ona, an acclaimed independent filmmaker. And his first movie was, what was it again, as?
Whose? It was...
Thank you. But one, like so many hired by Marvel with zero experience directing within the trappings of a 9-figure budget, Marvel and Ona declined to comment A representative for Ford did not respond to Vulture's request for comment. Okay.
Wow.
A source close to the
I
production
don't care.
said there is no truth to the allegations that Ford was a curmudgeon. He's a fucking curmudgeon. Everybody knows it.
It's very apparent he's a pain in the ass.
I don't care.
I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care.
I worked on the reshoots. I think everyone on the crew knew this is probably not going to be a good film. Some of the like these motherfuckers out there were like, that's fine. Calling us out. You can question everything. Absolutely question everything. But like when people from inside Marvel are saying this is a piece of shit, then you could probably take it to the bank. It's a piece of shit. I doubt I'm going to disagree with them because the stuff they liked, the same guy who told me this was a piece of shit was the same guy who said, "Oh, I like Doctor Strange Mom. It's going to be a banger." You know, it's like,
hey, remember they're very proud of the Thunderbolts. Remember?
Yes, same guy who said Thunderbolts is good. We'll see.
We have the director of the Cloverfield Paradox. Everyone
Yes.
remembers that film, right?
I remember watching it. I remember forgetting it and not liking it. We had a lot of frustrations on set after principal photography was finished. It was like, oh, we're going to introduce the leader of the Serpent Society. It was on, then it was off, then it was on again. This sounds like Star Wars, really. That's very expensive to do. My coworkers who spent more time on Brave New World than I did said, yeah, this has been a really rough production. When the studio had its test in front of an audience, it didn't respond. Maybe they didn't.
They just sat in stunned silence.
And on arrival.
Anything? Bueller? Maybe they don't want to see anything political in an election year. Maybe they
didn't respond at all to this either, so I don't think anything's changed since that first cut. I will say, there was one black guy in my fucking audience who fucking laughed at everything. Every damn joke, he was laughing like Kawhi Leonard, and it was driving me crazy.
Oh, God.
Did he laugh at the joke where, what's his name says, like, it's genetic data, and then he was like, speak English.
Yeah, and he went,
my theater was about half full. It was a small one because I didn't go to the big screen. I wasn't paying £2 extra to see this shit on a big screen. So I went to the small screen. It's about half full. And this is actually a true story. I'm not being tight, but the only noise that was made the whole film
was you farting?
No, there was actually a handicapped person that would have outbursts every half hour or so, and that was it. Every single joke.
This movie was made for that person. So.
Well,
yeah.
As you don't have to call
No,
yourself
that person was probably feeling
okay.
that person was probably feeling like Clockwork Orange and tortured. Whoever the fuck took him, they're like, I want to go home.
Maybe
Why are you doing this to me?
Was him, but he's quiet as a mouse, and it was just some guy like
There was a total of like 12 to 15 people in my theater.
Everything just fell flat. Nothing. 2 people walked out, and they never came back.
Wow.
They were the smart ones.
The credits, and we know there's a post-credit scene. It's a Marvel one. We know there's a post-credit scene. The fuckers left it right till after the credits this time. But as soon as it finished, some people just got up. They were fucking straight out that door. They weren't sticking around for that credit scene either.
No. I didn't either. There was like total of like 12 to 15 people in my theater, and it was dead quiet the entire time. No cheering, no laughing, no crying, no nothing. Dead.
They should have been
silence.
crying, to be fair.
Yeah.
Sure. They were probably bored to tears more so than anything else. Maybe
There's
they fell
nobody in
asleep
my
after.
theater, but it's also like fucking negative 69 degrees and there's snow everywhere. So I can't.
I got one laugh.
They were just in there to survive.
There was one laugh, and it was I should have taken the serum. That was it. And it was loud enough to get through the cam copy. So.
But when he said that, I was just like, but you've been acting like you've had this serum the whole film. So why
no shit.
There was a laugh when the leader fish showed his face.
Oh, yeah.
Because he looked
retarded. Unintentional laughter.
They should have gone the whole Mega Mind look for him.
They should go with the class. These motherfuckers who think they know better than the comics. It's like go with the. I mean, Sam Wilson's costume is fucking terrible. It's objectively a terrible costume. They even proved it a little bit. It still looks fucking retarded. He went from downhill skier to looking like Brian Boitano. Like it's so stick with the leader. and you whatever. They're so bad at it. And the costume, like, dude, Joaquin Torres's costume is so fucking bad. And yes, that's the one from the comics. Yeah. He's like olive green Falcon, though.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a couch from the 60s.
Give me some breadsticks then.
When the studio had its test, blah, 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 General Ross reads an allusion to Trump. He's this very powerful general who becomes kind of a fascist and turns into raging. Oh, you know what? Stop using using this fascist word that you clearly do not understand at all.
The meaning of the word.
Like, at what point in the movie are they talking about? This is before the movie came out, right? This person has not watched it. They're just making shit up. Or they've seen the movie.
I think they're just broken.
They're referring to, I think, test screenings at this point. Okay. This is my opinion, but I think Disney was realizing, hey, we've been bleeding for a while. Let's try not to piss off our core base any more than we have been over the last couple of years, which is a great quote. Maybe should have done it like right after Endgame. But they know you're going to lose a lot of your audience that way. People are conspiracy theorists. No, they're just fucking right about shit. But go on. Some people think the original title New World Order means Jews run the world.
Well, what means, you fucking retard? Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Why was Stabber there, though? Like, that's...
They should have called it Captain America, Jews run the world.
I would see that one. I'd see that.
They're the one seeing that connection.
America. They just control the weather.
There is a Captain America story. I think it's
Kanye. Captain America would be Kanye.
Dude, there is a storyline by Ed Brubaker called New World Order.
Yes. Oh God! If you look into Brave New World, not much of a better. I mean, like, stop. Okay. And now there's a war going on. It's like all these things.
Fucking shit.
Jews run the world.
No,
just Hollywood.
The reason it was controversial as well is because it was like the leader's going to be behind everything, played by a Jewish guy. You're like, oh.
His name is Maury.
Shut up. He comes into the room at the beginning, goes, "Oi, vey, Captain America." It's like, wow.
That's why it's all a revenge tale. It's the most petty shit ever. It makes sense.
Yep. It's like all these things were not predicted when Cap 4 was given the production green light. You mean the knee-jerk reaction right after you, like during the BLM riots, and you wanted to virtue signal a sequel announcement that you fucking instantly regretted within a couple of years, but you still had to go through with it because contracts were signed? Yeah, like that.
Hey, it only cost 180 million, Gary. What are you giving it?
Yeah, right. Were coming to fruition. Trump, the war in Gaza, the tension in America right now. Harrison Ford was one of the crankiest performers I've ever dealt with, which was sad. I'm a fan, but he was never much, but he was very much a diva. He's fucking 82, you little shit. He can be a diva all he wants. I don't care.
Fucking respect.
Yeah. You get to 82, motherfucker. I don't know if you remember, but he got in a plane crash. Which one? He couldn't even raise his left arm above his chest. We had to suit up 80-something Harrison Ford in these motion cap dots. To me, it seemed like he hated it. He did, and didn't want to do it. Nope.
Dude, why would they ever need to do that at this point? Like, fucking whatever. It looks awful. It's not like you need to put him in a mocap suit.
No. Yeah, that's ridiculous. Just mocap his face or something like that.
You only really need his face.
It's also such a small part of the movie.
Yeah, it happens like
numbers in, by the way.
This will make Shad happy. Y'all in mocap will be out of work within 3 years.
Yeah,
you'll just be out of work.
AI can motion capture just regular video
just
really
about
accurately.
It's pretty crazy.
It did. By the way, it did 12 mil preview night.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ryan brought that
behind up Quantumania.
Behind Quantumania by what was it, Ryan?
Behind. It's 5 million behind Quantumania. Basically, it's tracking around 2/3 of what Quantumania was its Thursday preview. It's less than Black Widow's Thursday preview. It's slightly higher than Eternal's Thursday preview. But guess what?
Flop.
It's above the 10.5 million from The Winter Soldier back in 2014. If you don't count inflation, and if you don't count the fact that Thursday previews in 2014 were more like I don't know,
Midnight shows.
Midnight and not
screenings.
2 p.m., which is what this one was.
And about 1,000 theaters, if that.
Well, come on, guys. This is going to have legs. Everyone's going to go back and see this again.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Totally.
Well, look, the only thing, we talked about this a little before, the only thing box office wise that the movie does have going for it, it's not going to be word of mouth. It's not going to be excitement initial weekend. The only thing it has is that there's no fucking competition over the next couple weeks. It is a dead spot. But
more people turned up to my cinema today to see Bridget Jones.
Well, you're in the UK. It's really gay. So I love the UK, but it's pretty
and
gay.
lack of competition does not always guarantee anything. Like that, as you mentioned, it's the one thing going for it. But what I think is the funniest thing is you have these shills like Tony over at Deadline who keeps running with it saying, oh, it's not too far off from where Captain America was back in 2014. But if you look at like ticket sales, even like in a best case scenario, okay, because the other thing they're doing is they're comparing the projected 4-day total of this movie to the 3-day totals of these other movies. So you're looking at 3-day total of 90 million. That's probably not going to happen. It's probably going to be in the 80s. That's still about 2 million tickets less than the first Captain America.
So the only good comparison when you look at modern MCU, and instead of going back to 2012 and 2014 with all these other comps, the perfect one is Quantumania. It came out on this exact same weekend, the holiday weekend in February, 2 years ago exactly. And that movie made $106 million on its normal 3-day with Thursday previews opening weekend, $120 million when you factor in the holiday Monday. Right now, with the numbers we have, Captain Black, Falcon America, Brave New World is at tracking around the 85 million for the 3-day and 95, maybe $100 million for that long 4-day holiday. Significantly behind Quantumania, which went on to make about $460 million worldwide at the box office.
Yep. And in contrast, I just looked it up. Black Panther, which was 2018, but it was released pretty much the same day, $28 million Thursday. $28 million Thursday. Eternals made more on
Thursday. Had black people in it.
Yeah, it did. Eternals made more on its Thursday preview, but yes, this is going to track behind Quantumania. So Ryan, I think it means that the box office drop off won't be like 80%. It'll be like 68.
68.
That's the thing.
Typical MCU drop.
Well, Quantumania had like a 71% drop. It was a really harsh drop, even from a fairly low open. So it might not be 70, but it's going to be probably in that 65.
Yeah. I don't see what the attraction would be to go though, because word of mouth is awful right now.
Yeah, dude, you can stay home and there's like
drop.
There's 3 TV shows that are coming out that I'd much rather watch. Cobra Kai, Reacher.
I want to talk about
1923. Yeah, we'll talk about Cobra
Do we
Kai.
mention, by the way, the grand profit of Quantumania was $88,000?
Yes,
and that's not even true.
Wow.
Now, that's not even true because like it's all this fucking bullshit math they're trying to spin. They spent $330 million on that thing just for production budget, and they lied to everybody and said it was $200 million.
If that is the admitted profit, then that's fucking hilarious, isn't it? Like them being like, "Hey, we made 88K."
Yeah, and it's funny if you take the actual budget of $330 million, it's actually about a $283 million loss.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so they didn't make. It's not that they didn't make anything on it. It ran for a loss of over $250 million loss.
Correct. But just like with this movie, when everyone's repeating $180 million because that's what Marvel told the trades, you should trust the trades.
Yeah.
The trades also said Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania cost $200 million, so they ran with that, pretended it made a slight profit, when the reality was they spent $330 million making Quantum.
And that's how they've done every film where they have put out a general thought of estimate. It's always been undervalued and always been understated by about $100 to $200 million. And I tried to look into it. This film, I believe, was almost entirely shot in Georgia and DC. Right. And so they know there's not going to be any double checking on this because the UK tax returns, I don't think, are going to be having any effect on us actually knowing the truth behind it. So they know they can get away with lying about these numbers.
Yeah, we need Doge.
Every single film that's been filmed in the UK that we're able to get those documents from the MC over the past 5 years, they have consistently underreported the initial budget. So it would pretty easy to assume that they're also underreporting the other budgets for every other fucking movie they're putting out there. We just don't see the documents.
Disney would never lie. Come on, guys.
But Disney said it. But Disney said it.
Disney said, I want to read the last line from that Vulture article real quick. At the end of the day, it was the most tense Marvel shoot I've ever worked on. Everyone kind of felt their buttholes tightening a little bit. It's like, ugh.
You're filming with Harrison. I don't give a shit. I'm 82 years of age. I can fucking pop my clogs any moment. I'm just doing it for the fucking lols.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh my god, it's this guy.
About the multiverse?
Is this
are you the gayest Harrison Ford ever?
Are you playing gay Hulk? Because we already got one of those, buddy.
How many men just sleep within this?
What did you know about the multiverse before you signed up for this movie?
Nothing. I can answer it for him.
Could you explain the multiverse to me right now?
No.
No.
Is that necessary?
I don't know. Patty LaPone couldn't do it either.
Well, look, I was hired to play the president of the United States. You want me to explain that to you?
Wow, he sounds
that's impossible.
He sounds
Then go on from there. I turn into the Red Hulk.
Stoned and drunk. Holy shit. He is fucked up.
I played the president.
I play the president. And then I play Red Hulk.
That's what the money's for.
That's what the money's
best
for.
Fucking things about Harrison Ford being involved in projects, or we get all of the interviews and all of the
so
red
good.
carpet things where
Fucking
he clearly
priceless.
doesn't give two fucks about these answers. And also, guess what? This film has nothing to do with the multiverse. So
Till the end.
No,
Till the
it's-
post-credit scene.
Until the
Yeah.
end. Yeah.
I never saw the post-credit scene, so I have no idea what happened.
So the post-credit scene is Sam
It wasn't in
confronting
the
the
cam
leader.
copy.
And it was pretty much the same post-credit scene from Batman versus Superman. It is. It is. He's all, there's something coming. I can through my variables, I can see that you're gonna. How could you defend this from the other worlds?
Yeah, it was like
Mine is different.
the big thing is that it's not just something; it's another world. How would you fight another world? So-
Yeah.
Mine was, aren't you so excited that we're going to throw more of this shit at you? That's what mine said.
like this.
Then it went black and it said, "This bullshit will continue in
Yeah,
next
it's
film."
Yes, that's the threat.
And just like so we know, I believe this phase of the MCU is called like the multiverse phase or something.
Yeah.
Like
I need a gun.
so this was a movie that had nothing to do with that at all.
Well, but like, what a way to undermine everything anyway. To be like, oh, the multiverse is coming. It's like we've already done it like 4 times.
Yeah, no
What are you
shit.
talking about?
Thanks for telling us.
They're just
Mine
letting
was
Anthony
really
Mackie
good
know
as
about
well.
it.
What it sounds like, this is going to be a little, teaser prelude thing to Worlds Colliding, and that's the Fantastic Four world coming into
The Incursion Crisis.
The
That's what I think they're leading up to.
Well,
And they're starting,
I could
adamantium,
spoil the
X-Men.
Fantastic Four, but I won't.
Why did you say that?
Why would
Sorry,
you not?
Marvel
All right.
did
Well,
keep
Dr.
that
Doom's
forward.
going to show up at the end. And the whole, what I was told that the reason that they went after Robert Downey Jr. to play Dr. Doom is that.
There you go. Now
Okay,
you can
thank
continue.
you. The reason they brought they brought RDJ to do Dr. Doom is they wanted to contrast it with in the Fantastic Four's world. They wanted to have the guy who destroys the world be played by the guy who saved ours.
Yay.
I just like how much
That is-
convincing it took you to say it.
That's
'Cause you're like,
what's
I'm not going to spoil anything. Went, oh, and then just immediately.
I'm a liar.
Then we the audience watching this film to Captain America will return. People are like, are you fucking threatening us?
No.
Yeah.
No. As
You
I
will
was
make
like,
another.
thank God, I can't wait for him to come back because I didn't see him in this movie.
Say, like, even America will return. You're like, oh my god,
Steven,
He's back. Yes. Oh, speaking of Disney, it's because this was Disney Marvel. Just in case you didn't know, I guess they're rolling back some of their DEI efforts.
Yeah.
By
Strange.
what, renaming it to something else?
Yes,
Probably.
But thanks for Thanks for going right to the punchline on that one, Comics. I really appreciate you.
Great time.
That is streaming 101 by Comics Division, ladies and gentlemen. And he learned that from Az.
Had a good mentor.
Yeah. Disney stepping back from some DEI efforts as Trump takes power. The changes come amid a campaign against programs intended to boost diversity by being discriminatory, by the way. The reason they're rolling some of these things back is because in the private sector for not allegedly, violating civil rights laws. Because you were excluding an entire race of people from your hiring practices, which is against civil rights laws, to the point where some local jurisdictions in Southern California had to change their laws, which they did, so they wouldn't be violating any laws. So yes, it's great to fight discrimination with discrimination, guys. It works all the time, doesn't it?
Totally.
They have to get rid of all of their whites need not apply signs. That's gonna suck.
Well, dude, people were saying that on Twitter too. Remember when they were
I know.
Yeah, people were like comic people and gaming people were like, whites need not apply to this one. It's like, whoa, okay.
Yeah. The way they get around it in the UK is they go, we will consider all applications. We'll just prioritize these people, and so it still avoids the law.
And that's just saying that they're throwing out every application that doesn't have the diversity tick boxes. We know what's going on.
Yes.
God,
Okay.
I'm
so
glad that doing that has made the quality of our content so much better.
There was an article not long ago where it's like, finally, women have achieved parity in pay in the top grossing movies. Finally, we've just achieved it.
I mean, it sucks, but we got the women in there.
Yeah.
All right. Well done.
It was a really down year for the box office, but at least it was equal.
Yeah. Yes, and that is Gary Font, and I love my people for,
I keep it real,
Keeping it real. Female actors finally achieved parity with men as leads in the top grossing films of 2024, a year that was collectively down from 2023, which was called the year of the flopbuster, by the way.
Girls do get it done.
But this is amazing because that's exactly how it, if you want equality, the only way they can do it is to cut everyone down to be on the same level.
And notice it wasn't even enough to be cast the same. They had to be the same in popularity. It had to be top grossing as well.
And what statement has been made as a result? We can be just as shit as the worst
Yes.
directors too. It's like, all right, yeah.
Yay, women. In a move to try and ensure that it doesn't wind up in the crosshairs of the Trump administration's campaign. I mean, never mind that the audience has completely rejected all of this shit. I mean, against diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, Disney appears to be rolling back some of its DEI efforts. At least they're saying they are. I don't believe it for a second. The entertainment
the next one is, what was it? Impact, social impact in entertainment is what it's getting to.
Yeah.
All right. And where are the massive swaths of people just getting fired for being DI? I'm not seeing it. It's just like they're just rebranding.
Dude, I'm looking forward to financial impact on
I'm not going to read this entire article. What it's probably going to be is so the entertainment giant in its latest filing to regulators scrubbed references to the Reimagine Tomorrow initiative, which launched in 2021 with the Summer of Love and everything, with the purpose of amplifying underrepresented voices. I love how they just continue to, you're marginalized, you're underrepresented, you're less than. And if it isn't for us really wise, woke white women mostly to lift you up, you don't even know how to read an app or use a computer. So fucking racist.
It's so computer.
Basically what this was when they were talking, they essentially they used to, in all these different quarterly reports, were bragging about all their diversity, equity, inclusion programs. They removed a handful from that list this time, didn't really focus on it because they know how unpopular it is. But Reimagine Tomorrow, that is the program that launched a couple years ago in 2021. That's what led to those leaked Zoom calls about the not so secret gay agenda. That's what led to all the controversy in Florida with the Don't Say Gay bill, otherwise known as the Parental Rights and Education bill, that led to Disney basically getting smacked in the dick for all of that stuff. That's the same program that is behind the rebranding of Splash Mountain to Tiana's Bayou in the theme parks, which has not gone over well with people. And now that website is down. Are all those people gone? Are they out of jobs? Are they just moving things around? That obviously remains to be seen.
I feel like we would be hearing from these people. If they got fired, they would be out there 100%. Regardless of
other departments,
NDAs or whatever.
This is the same. We talked about it 2 weeks ago when I was here. This is the same fucking Disney that says we're going to quiet things down in the culture war every fucking year. They say it every fucking year, and they are on the front lines. Bob Iger is a 5-star general in the fucking culture war. He is no way in hell going to change his ways. They're going to just be a little more subtle about it, and that's what comics are saying. Many people have said that, and
it's
you're
not
right.
good for business anymore to brag about it. They thought it would be good for business to brag about it. It was really fucking bad for business, and so now even the companies that say we're not doing this, we'll have to watch. We'll have to fucking wait and see. Right, just because they say something, just because they remove this from bragging about it, doesn't mean they're not going to do it. We just have to wait and see what they're going to do.
And they always end up escalating things after they say, "Oh, we're to quiet the noise down with the culture war." Nope, immediately goes to escalation.
Now, the one thing you can say when you look at Disney that has been a pretty big thing was that one Pixar cartoon that was scheduled to come out that had an entire transgender storyline for this child and all this stuff. They completely scrubbed that from it. The actor that they cast was a trans actor who's supposed to be playing a trans character. They turned that character into just a normal fucking person, right? So they were really pissed about their role getting taken away from them
because the trans person was playing a character of their biological identity.
How dare you make me act?
Yeah,
I know, right?
They're acting by being trans. So.
Well, that is one of the few things you can look at and be like, that is a change that they've made because they knew how fucking unpopular it would be. Inside Out 2, if you remember what the animators and people came out from behind there, they were complaining because Disney came down and said, hey, we don't want there to be any possible fucking question that these characters are gay. This is a kids movie. We don't want any questions in there. We just want to make sure to remove any possible hint that could be even perceived by people as like gay baiting or hinting at anything. They did come out and say that for Inside Out 2 as well.
So what's interesting about that, it seems like there are some higher up, some managers that actually care about the bottom line and making a profit, and they're few and far between. But it seems like all the other, like, you know, foot soldiers workers, they were very pissed off about having to do it, but they seem to have, you know, done what they were told.
Well, and good luck changing that at Disney with all the people who work there, because they all still believe in that stuff. But to show you what a fucking dead issue trans kids is, J.K. Rowling has been railing about this for years now. And, you know, Ryan and some of us here and Garrett, you know about the Harry Potter fan base. Okay. So it's not like a based fan base. Okay. Let's just point out the obvious.
It's diverse.
It's very diverse. And it's the kind of fan base that would be fucking that has, you know, some of the old, like MuggleNet has been, you know, gone against J.K. Rowling, and it hasn't affected her in the least bit. She's making more money now than she ever has. So it's a dead issue, and everybody knows it. It's crossing a line, and it's a loser, and it'll be a loser forever. And I'm glad that it's finally losing. And it looks like a lot of it was trumped up by us. A lot of our taxpayer dollars were paying for a lot of this bullshit, you know, through certain organizations, US AIDS. And many others. And believe me, the corporations believe this too. It wasn't just government money coming in. There's true believers everywhere within these corporations that were pushing it too. So keep losing. I'll be happy. What do you think of John Lithgow as Dumbledore?
Yeah, I want to hear.
He's not British, which is shocking.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a pretty experienced theater actor, and he's played a lot of British characters. But
he can pull it off.
I do think he can pull it off.
He's too fucking old.
Yeah, isn't he going to die by the end of...
How old is he?
Probably. Like 78 or 79.
He's 80s, right? Like
no, he's 82.
You got to be super old, but simultaneously you got to stay alive.
He is 82 years old.
79.
It's going to be really tough to do.
79. Sorry, he's 79. So
to do what he needs to do.
I did the math without X-Ray Girl. Sorry. And it's going to take 2 years to make each season of Harry Potter. There's no way they're going to be able to put this out every year. That's 14 years minimum.
Bro,
he will be 90 fucking 3 when it ends. Now he's going to die in season. Oh, sorry, spoilers. He's going to die in season 6. But
hold on, Gary. Wait,
Harry, you're an actor. Gary, I'm confused.
All right, now you can say it.
Gary,
God, everybody knows Dumbledore dies. Come on. Everybody fucking knows.
Oh my God, you spoiled it.
That's one of the original like spoilers. People driving past Barnes and Noble.
No. Ryan, I have a story. I'm in the comic store. The book just fucking came out, but I had to work all fucking day. Motherfucker comes into my store. And he's like, I can't believe they killed Dumbledore. I'm like, dude, get out today.
Gary, I experienced that as a Mormon missionary because that book came out when I was on my mission. My companion was a massive Harry Potter fan, and we knock on someone's door, and someone just Dumbledore died, and he's just like, what?
That's one way to get him to
even
leave.
be a Mormon now, motherfucker. Kiss my ass.
He was like,
that's one way to get you guys to leave the fucking house. My God.
Do you know who they should cast as Dumbledore?
Funny.
Who?
Anthony Mackie.
Oh, inspired.
It's
Well,
a man.
Dumbledore is a
Dumbledore's a
mantle.
man.
Yeah.
Did you see Jason Isaacs when he was asked about
yes.
He was on a red carpet or something, and he's asked about like, hey, have you thought about returning for any parts? He's like, yeah, actually, just sent my audition tape in. I want to play Hermione.
No, I heard you mention this, Ryan, and I guess the good news is that we might not get a Black Snape because in the same report they had said that I forgot the actor's name was
Mark
a shoo-in for Mark Rylance who would have been good. Mark Rylance would have been good as Dumbledore.
Now, there are some people saying that the Mark Rylance stuff, that the reason he didn't take it is because his wife passed away a few months ago, and like he's in mourning. But I mean, man, I don't know. You're gonna turn down 10 years of a job because your wife passed away? I don't know.
No, I'm a
I don't think he's one of those actors
getting
that
back to work after that. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not one of those actors that's like just trying to get a paycheck. Like he tends to be a bit more particular about the roles he takes.
And that's a long commitment. Bro. I mean, that's a 14-year commitment.
Yeah,
well, he's not gonna have a wife bitching at him to come home now, so it seems like an easy decision
to me. Jesus, Ryan.
Did you say "oh ma" for a second there?
Oh my!
Oh right,
it's a classic phrase, Paula.
Oh Mark Rylance.
Oh Mark.
Did you mean oh hi Mark?
Well, hi Mark.
I don't know if that actually did impact, but that's what I'm hoping with the John Lithgow thing is that a lot of the other rumors we heard that weren't actual like contract announcements or anything, that were just, hey, they have their eyes on a couple of people. I hope a lot of those were bullshit. Because Black Snape will not be good for this show.
No, it'll be DOA.
So is that not happening? Like so Snape hasn't been cast yet?
Well, John Lithgow has not been officially cast. They said they're eyeing him, and that's what all the articles have been.
So John Lithgow has not been cast as Black Snape yet.
Not yet, but he will be.
John Lithgow, what the news that broke was they're in contract negotiations right now. Whereas the other ones were just, hey, they've got their eyes on a couple people.
I don't.
This is a much more serious announcement.
I'm fine with it. Like I hope he lives to 93, and he's a great actor. He's a Third Rock from the Sun was one of my favorite. Such a good fucking show.
He's great at being the hero. He's good at being the villain. He's got a lot of range.
He's great.
He was awesome.
Lord Farquaad, top role.
Yes, he's an actual actor.
He apparently is also he was in a British show as a character.
He was Churchill.
Well, he was Winston
Churchill.
And,
it's like because my wife is a huge Harry Potter nut, like a fan of the books. And normally, like a casting like this, I feel like she'd be more critical of. But she was like, "No, that actually could work because of how great he did in that role." So
somebody just played the opening to the new Snow White trailer. Who the fuck is that?
Oh, did you hear that?
Yeah.
At first, it sounded like the Halloween, like.
I gotta go off camera real quick. Hold on.
My God, Ryan, you're so familiar with it. You recognize the trailer from the
Of course he does. It's his job.
I gotta find. Oh shit! I gotta find Mix Minus on my soundboard again. Fucking A. I can't even remember where the hell it is.
Speaker.
It could have been way less or way more embarrassing than that, Gary. So you're all right.
I know. Well, Lady Grimmaster, I just want to, if you're listening, link to the Disney one, not to IGN if we're going to do trailers. Link to the main site because I want to see the ratio. I want to see the ratio.
IGN, who today on Valentine's Day decided to retweet the Kingdom Come Deliverance gay romance.
Third time. This is the third time they did it I saw it.
Great rage baiting for the handful of people out there that were trying to desperately claim that the game would flop. So
yeah,
they're getting paid. That's why they're fucking keep tweeting it out. But I do. Well, before we're talking about anything else, I want to take a little bit to talk about the meetup in Orlando because, unfortunate that everybody couldn't be there and everything. But it's great to have Gary back on FNT again. But the fans were crazy. This Orlando meetup was nuts. MegaCon was packed the entire time. A lot of people passing through MegaCon, but whether we were at the booth, whether it's at our panel that we filled up to standing room only, our 600 person capacity theater, and we had to turn probably 50 to 100 people away in the last 5 minutes because we were already full. It was wild. I don't think we've ever had a panel that's that big before. And then specifically the meetup was probably one of the craziest ones we've done. And I want to give a massive shout out to the people at Universal, to all the people at City Walk, from the security guys to the people at the Red Coconut Club. That's where we hosted it. And we probably had 600 or 700 people show up to the Red Coconut Club that night, going in and out over those couple hour periods. It was a party. It was a great atmosphere, great drinks. I did not get as drunk as I got last time, which is a good thing.
I got very drunk.
But a huge shout out to Universal, to Red Coconut Club, everybody at City Walk. It was a great experience. The fans had a great time. And specifically to our man, Teddy Benson over at Universal. He is the man and really helped us out with a lot of this stuff there. So we are already in the planning stages for next year, which I think MegaCon's going to be in March next year. We're already in the planning stages, and hope we can make it just as packed as it was this year.
With maybe a little lower music so that we can have real good conversations. I'm going to be honest, man. I'm just speaking for the people. I'm just speaking for the people.
You're a loser who doesn't like to go outside.
No. I'm a person that speaks for the people who every single one said, man, I wish we could turn this music down.
Odin, shut your mouth.
I'm going to speak for the people.
Great experience. All the fans had a great time. So shut the fuck up.
They did. I'm just speaking for the people.
With enough drinks, Odin, it doesn't even matter. You know? You turn it all the way up.
Where did
Is that your? Hang on.
Did he?
Ryan leave?
Just leaving it.
I don't know. I was wondering if that was.
I want my volume up. I'm out of here.
I got so mad at Odin, my fucking Chrome froze.
I think it's hilarious. Also, you tell the guy that barely talks to stop talking. I mean, Lord, man.
Well, when you open your mouth and say something dumb, then I'll say that. Yeah.
Garrett, your line with enough drinks it doesn't even matter. Is that your pickup line? Because that's
how I got my wife. What do you think we have 4 kids for?
Just been permanently drunk ever since.
Just drink up.
Is that Odin's fucking curricular vitae thing for podcast host? Barely says a thing.
There you go. Bill Burr.
It's best.
Bill fucking Burr.
20 million Bill.
Yeah, I don't like Bill Burr.
No.
And I haven't liked Bill Burr for a long fucking time. Chrissy's here. Chrissy, you here? Or did she go feed
she's feeding
baby boo boo? Baby boo boo. Because Chrissy could tell the story of how Bill Burr treated Anthony Cumia, a guy he was on the radio with Opie and Anthony. Helped his career quite a bit. And basically, when Anthony got into a little trouble, he said, I can't hang out with you anymore because my wife told me not to. Yep. Bill Burr, billionaires are rabid dogs who deserve to die. So now all of a sudden they're going to go after their billionaires, everybody, because one went off the reservation named Elon Musk and changed the world by exposing what bullshit all these fucking platforms are and how much they were the purveyors of misinformation and not us. When we were supposed to be allowed to say whatever the fuck we want on this free speech platform, they were working with the government. In most cases, they still are. And believe me, there's a lot of rot still to be dug out. Trump hasn't taken care even of 1% of it that's still out there that's working against him and also working against us, trying to suppress us. But all of a sudden, billionaires are a problem, even though they weren't for the last fucking 4 years, except for Elon.
And it's not including millionaires because that's what his.
We are. That's the Bernie line. Once Bernie became a multi-millionaire, he started going after billionaires. He stopped saying the millionaires and the billionaires. By the way, Bernie was always. It's been great to see the Bernie Bros kind of faced with that. Your guy was just a fucking puppet. He was just a puppet. He was just an op. He was always fucking bullshit. And he's a commie. But speaking of commies, here's Bill Burr.
Out there because of these billionaires. And they got us all arguing liberal and conservative.
Oh, shut up.
We got to stop doing that. Like, I am so
really
tired of hearing about people going to bed worried about what's going to happen next week. There is so much fucking money in this country.
was he the last
And
4
there's so much
years?
work
I know
being
you've
done.
got a lot of it.
You know,
riding the fence.
And if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should
wouldn't
be
know
able to
shit
pay
about
your
that.
fucking rent.
Not anymore.
You shouldn't have to go out and get a fucking job and still be struggling.
Where was this energy the
Yeah.
last 4 years,
With
bro?
Biden.
Yeah.
This is insane.
Like all of a
All your
sudden
witness-
now you're like, fuck
Yeah,
the
'cause
right
you're
and the
just-
left. It's
Hey,
everything.
people
You're
should.
just regressing to the previous stage. So the whole woke and DEI stuff came out of this. Now that's gone back. They've gotten back to just a form. To now it's going to be class and everything. So
Well-
please just trust us.
Well, it's like the whole thing with inflation as well. It's like there was no inflation under Biden.
A lot of
Now
jobs,
it's all
a lot of
it's
jobs
fine.
have been taken away by giving it to immigrants, illegal immigrants, who get wages far under our. Well, for one, minimum wage in like San Francisco is fucking ridiculous, but everything is ridiculous in San Francisco, and I can't tell you why. Like little box houses are $1 million when like just down the way the neighborhoods are set up. There's some nice neighborhoods, but they're right next to fucking ghettos, straight up ghettos. So you explain to me why they're so expensive. Well, it's all bullshit, right? So like, hey, everybody should have a job. Everybody should be able to pay the rent. People like have the opportunity to work for it. Some of us through life, like yours truly, had to take 2-3 fucking jobs to pay rent at a $500 a month apartment. That's what I fucking did. That was life. And I'm not going to sit there and go, well, this should change. This should absolutely fucking change. No, I'm just going to do what I can now. And hopefully, we'll vote in the right people. We haven't voted in the right people, especially in California. And Bill Burr has never not said shit about this in the last 4 years. He'll dabble once in a while, but he's always been a fucking clown. He's always been for the system, and he again is worth $20 fucking million. So share some of your money, dude. Share it with the fucking masses. Nobody's fucking stopping you.
He's very fair
Bro
weather.
looks tired. He looks tired, man.
He just
Tired
he
of
wants
being a shill.
he wants to be
He's always going to be contrarian too. That's also has always kind of been part of his shtick.
and
right?
shtick. That's all it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there'll be occasion when being contrarian happens to fucking align with some of the stuff we've been saying, and there's going to be a lot of times where being contrarian, now that the tide is completely turned, the outrage contrarian stuff will be completely antithesis of things we've been saying. So that's kind of how I feel about Bill Burr in general.
I mean, yeah, but when he says billionaires, he's referring specifically to Elon Musk, and we all know that.
Oh yeah.
Whereas if you look at the way that your Democratic party has been funded, there's a very particular billionaire or three that seems to be popping up with them all the time. Nothing said about that. So if you want to say something about billionaires, at least be consistent. But you can, if you want to cherry pick, because your wife's probably barking in your ear that's probably what it is. His wife's just can't fucking shut up.
They are consistent. It's just they're consistent with what benefits them at any time. So when they were in control of the state, the state's fine. It's great money. Look, we're just redistributing all this wealth. The moment they lose control of the state, now money's a problem. We need to get money out of everything. It's us versus them, us versus the elites.
But this billionaire is freeing up hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars.
Which is all going to their causes. So.
Now they don't have to spend $1.2 million on transgender animal research. There's $1.2 million that's been saved. That can go to some housing or some food project or something like that.
Chimeras would hate
He
you.
has no real backbone.
Chimeras.
I'm not even joking. It's not even joking. They put
Clockwork Ills,
million into fucking transgender animal research, and it was about turning animals trans. So they could
I can't believe that's even a fucking thing.
The thing that USAID's found about the transgender comic book in Peru. That got like $50,000.
I would love to see that. Somebody get their hands on that.
I really want to read it.
They don't exist.
Did you see a transgender person at all in Peru? Like once? And we were there for a long time. I didn't either.
They don't exist. These are just titles, so they can say we're doing this progressive thing.
Money.
It seems very
And they're
clear
giving
that
money
most
to
of the money
themselves.
that was sent for these programs aren't ending up in those projects. They're certainly seems to be refunded to somewhere else. Was it like $20 billion sitting in a bank account waiting to be dispersed to other NGOs with no overhead and no oversight? Like,
wow.
the amount of
His
corruption
money was
that's
just
being exposed
being
here
thrown away.
should
Yeah,
shock
let's,
people.
let's talk about billionaires right now when our
Yeah, well-
government is being exposed. Like just billions are tiny. Billions are tiny in the waste. But he's going to call out the billionaires and not call out the government right now. So if it was reversed, if it was for some reason the Democrats doing this kind of auditing of the government, they'd be all fucking over it.
Dude, yeah, it's their side doing it. It's perfectly fine.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Do we need to hear the rest? What else
I
is he
don't
saying?
think so.
Ah, fuck him. Let's get to
Yeah,
Super
we're
Chats.
talking about Fauci.
Does anybody talk about Fauci anymore? Besides, he needs to be in jail, but he won't be.
I think that's pretty much it.
He did nothing
Well, he's been pardoned, so.
Just get him to perjure himself again, and then you get
I
new
don't know what we
charges.
needed to pardon him for.
You get.
Yeah, you want to get him into a room, right, airtight, and then put some airborne AIDS in it. That'll get him.
Yeah. Have him sit down on a toilet seat.
Make him take the
Yeah.
same treatment
Get
that he
him.
recommended back in the day.
He's really scared of that airborne AIDS. He said, "Be careful."
Give him the beagle treatment.
Yes, please.
Sorry, I'm reading something and it takes me a long time. Okay.
Is the text too
Is it
small?
the alphabet?
A C D E Q F G. Let's get to super chats. Thanks everyone for being here. We had a huge crowd on Rumble and YouTube. Still do. So let's get to it. And we're gonna have a Rumble bonus hour today for sure. We can get more into the US AIDS.
Yeah.
US AIDS. Noons has gifted 50 Nerdrotic memberships for $250. Thank you, Noons. Thank you, lady. I might revert back to calling you a dude because I just call everybody a dude. I've called my mom a dude, so she's definitely not a dude.
Chopsticks from Noons.
You
They
did?
sent me chopsticks.
Do you know how to
that
use
they-
them?
that they made by hand.
Cultural appropriation, dude.
Yeah, that is.
3 different wood.
How you doing, Mom?
That's what she said.
Soft wood, flexible wood.
Good. Good.
Hardwood.
Boy, you know me, fans girl.
Every mood.
I was thinking back to Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm like, there's actually better parts in that show than Captain America 4. There's nothing. I didn't enjoy a single fucking thing.
Yeah,
about Captain America 4.
everybody looked like a
Yeah. Fortune and Glory for
I enjoyed it when
$49.99.
he looted the Target.
That was I must have missed that.
That was a deleted scene.
That's the deleted bonus content in the Blu-ray 4K Steelbox.
I liked
Fortune
it
Glory.
that when Captain America was so crap at defending the president had to knock out one of the attackers himself.
I know. The 82-year-old curmudgeon.
Yeah.
That
entire sequence is fucking wild.
It's bad.
Like that.
Because
that's the only thing I want to rewatch of this entire movie is that 2 or 3 minute segment to figure out what the hell actually was.
I don't know.
What happened?
You know what it made me think of is X2, Nightcrawler in the White House, the assassin, and how fucking
was
good that
so
was.
good.
That
That
was
seems amazing.
such
Yeah, but the scene makes no sense because Isaac, whatever. He's not
Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah, he shoots, but he doesn't hit because the whole point is not to kill him, right?
Yeah, he's not supposed to kill him.
Right. So why does he activate the other guys who are trying to kill him?
Just in case. I don't know. You don't know. Maybe some backup to
Well,
not
but
kill him.
They were going after other world
And why
leaders.
pick
though.
4 random? It was they had to have the medical records, apparently. But yeah, you would
Which
have.
was-
Why didn't the president? It's
It was just arbitrary nonsense. He
Yeah,
had the medical
arbitrary
record
nonsense.
for anyone that he needed. And look, they got the guy acting him, Isaiah. Look, no offense against him, he's an old guy, but he was not running like he had a super soldier serum on him. Did you see him running through the street where it's like,
When it wasn't CGI, yes.
yeah, he like
That was the weird part.
good
yeah.
actor, just nothing to work with. They had nothing to fucking work with at all. And then Harrison Ford just didn't care. He took a fucking
Gary.
paycheck, which everybody said. What was that?
Did you notice they changed his old man makeup in Falcon Winter Soldier? He was much older.
Much older, yes.
but they like removed it in this one. I don't know. I guess they just thought that looked like shit. Like,
Yeah.
well, he's
And
old
it
enough
did.
now. Whatever.
It really does look like shit. But
The
they
most
also,
unrealistic thing about that film was when he gave himself up and put his hands up, and not a single white cop shot him.
So unrealistic.
Well, you know when the little what was her name? The tiny girl. She goes
Ruth.
to shoot him.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah, and Falcon blocks the shot from her on Isaiah, the guy who's running around shooting everybody in there. I was like, yeah, that's neat that you're defending your friend because you assume something's wrong and everything, but you kind of just stopped her from executing like a crazy
Her
killer
job.
in the White House. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like
This guy's
there's
got a
no
whole
huge
bunch
that.
of terrorists, remember?
And then he runs away.
And think
with
about
no
the
words.
effort. And think about the effort that poor little tiny person had to lifting up that big heavy gun. I mean, come on.
That was the ultimate bros before hoes right there.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's funny.
Mahler's right though. It's like, who gave the child a gun? You got to put that in a lockbox.
Where are your parents?
Where are your parents? Fortune and Glory for $49.99. They say never meet your heroes, and it says heroes. But that was not the case at our first meetup. You were all a class act. Who knew Ryan was so jolly? I know, right? Thanks again, Jeremy, for signing my Interstellar shirt. He is such a fucking... Okay, so Jeremy has a body pillow of Trump and Chris Nolan. Okay.
One for each side, yeah.
One for each side. Jeremy's in the middle of that.
Right
sandwich.
in the middle.
Kills it over his head at night.
I don't hate Interstellar as much as say Mueller does. It's not Nolan's best
Don't
film.
worry, I can
It's not
convince
good.
you someday.
Bro,
I've never
I've
seen
seen
it.
it once and I will
It's
never
all
see it
right.
again. I will never see it again.
No.
Good.
Yeah. We made a great memory. Ooh, see you next year. Also, our condolences to Gary. Thank you. Cheers.
Who is that
Sorry.
from?
That was from Fortune and Glory. Fortune and Glory.
Anthony Mackie.
Anthony Mackie. No, yeah, I'm sorry I missed you guys. I really am. Like, it was, yeah. I wish I was there. Next year. It's in March next year, though, huh?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. I'll try to make it. Got some international plans, but we'll see. Anakmamon reviews and rants, 2 parts for $100. Needs something to watch this Valentine's Day? Yeah, Captain America 4. Come on. You got that girl or guy you want to get rid of? Take them to Captain America 4.
That is what you would do, yeah.
Den Hawkins' channel will be live streaming a tour of Christawood, a town MCU fan built in Lego Fortnite in Krista Nova's honor. That's not weird. 8 p.m. Central. Technically, Aaron Fever built it to troll MCU fan, but whatever. Okay, that I respect. Come see the monuments, statues, and even a name done like the Hollywood sign. After that, you can get your ship prawn, it says, fix when you go to the 1-in-1 scale Enterprise D. Enterprise D is a fine ship. It's a fine ship. It's no Enterprise. Okay. There you go. You heard me, Yaz. Currently under construction. I'll be the one keeping Den Hawken alive. Join us on 8 p.m. at 8 p.m. Cheers, Enoch Baman. Have fun. Have fun. Noons for $184.99 Arab Emirate pesos says Perry is a legend. He is a legend. Ryan is still not even still is oh wow. Ryan is still hot even with that forehead. Hail to the fellowship. Ryan, you've got an admirer
of it in that panel video.
Yeah.
Am I one of the few people that like the
Yes.
Enterprise E?
No, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Oh, God. In Picard 3, the joke about that is so good. It's like we don't talk about what happened to the Enterprise E, and Worf goes, "It was not my fault."
I forgot about that.
Enterprise D all the
it.
way.
I still like the Enterprise E.
Enterprise
I like
refit.
it. I'm not saying it's necessarily better. I like it. It's
All All right, put up a poll. Enterprise D or Enterprise
D.
Constitutional class.
I like the Enterprise class myself.
Like the Enterprise class. I think we let's just compare Enterprise. That I was thinking, and it took me a long time. I'm sorry. Let's go Enterprise D versus Enterprise Refit.
Oh, that's gonna be a tie.
Oh, dude, Enterprise Refit is just a sexier, sleeker ship. I like the D. Everybody likes the D.
You know. I think
going on the D. I like the Enterprise D.
Gary likes the D.
I don't.
The D is nice and sleek. It's got a big head on it. And like I just think it's got more space.
It's too girthy, you know.
I like it. I like the girth.
Yeah.
You like between those two,
it's Galaxy class.
Yeah, it's Galaxy class. The Enterprise class is the refit.
Galaxy class and Constitutional class.
Fuck.
I just
I
pick
think
not
refit,
type of ship, specific ship. That's what I wanted to go is with the specific ship.
I would give it to you, Gary. I would say the refit looks better than just in overall sleekness and stuff than Enterprise D. But I think I like the Enterprise E more than the D.
Of course you do, Shad. I mean, that just absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
E stands for erectile dysfunction.
I don't know shit about Star Trek.
Brian, what's your favorite?
Dysfunction.
What's your favorite Star Wars ship, Brian?
Probably. Probably no one's gonna fucking know it. The Anakin Solo is probably my favorite Star Wars capital ship, which is a huge Imperial Star Destroyer that's painted black. Essentially, it's got long range turbo lasers. It's Jason Solo's flagship.
Yeah.
That's probably my favorite one.
Jason,
what's that?
Jason.
Exactly. But there's a Kryllian engineering company freighter. I think the 3100 is at the Shriek class. Freighters, kind of like the next, like several stages after the YT 1300. It's fucking badass. That Wedge and Han both pilot them as they're on some fucking mission. Yeah.
One thing I hate.
Star Destroyer. That's a cooler normal answer.
Yeah, but I mean, not just
Slave One.
plain like Imperial
Slave
Star
One,
Destroyer.
chat. There you go.
Juice. Like that's not enough. I'm talking about the Galactic Alliance Guard.
The twin pod cloud car. It looks like a couple of testicles flying around.
So in Star Trek, you like the D. In Star Wars, you like the balls.
You know, get the whole package just for
I already shared this on one of the Rumble hours, but people are like, my favorite ship is the Centaur class. This beauty right here. This is probably my favorite.
That's pretty cool.
They all look the same. They all look the same.
Oh,
Okay,
come on.
look
Yeah. What is this
woman opinion?
Yeah, get out of here. I love the Centaur class, and it barely you barely see it. It appears in Deep Space Nine briefly.
I can see what.
Oh no!
If the nacelles were a little shorter.
Yeah,
I like the long nacelles.
It looks like they're going fast.
Yeah,
it's the warp speed where it kind of extends for a second.
Okay.
They're the exact same picture. They have the tail.
Oh my!
I'm sorry. Did I hear somebody talking?
Squeak. There was just a squeak.
Tanner McDaniel for $49.99. Thank you. Thank you, Tanner. In case this show needs a halftime special, Snow White AI comments song just dropped. Is it a fourth one? Because I know a third one dropped. It's pretty good. It's better than the second one.
Yeah, the first one was the best so far.
The first one was fucking gold, dude. I mean, just rooting for the poison apple is good enough.
If this was showing on a plane, I'd still walk out. What a fucking time.
What is it? I sat on my TV and watched my couch. Oh my God, those are good. We're just a month away from Snow White.
Yes, sir.
Flopping.
March 20th or something, right?
Yeah, 21st, I think.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah,
about-
Disney
right
had
around
such a better year last year by releasing Fox movies and just normal Disney movies, you know, and now they have to go back to this shit, and it's like, oh, oof. Yeah, I'm concerned about FF. I am concerned. I want it to be good, but I'm concerned. Female Silver Surfer is a fucking deal breaker. That's fucking stupid as fuck. Not Another Dime is gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for 50. Thank you. That's a lot of dimes.
The patriarchy's coming.
Andrew Fay for $199.99. You and your crew did it. You've been sparked. You've sparked the awakening of this sleeping giant by speaking the truth. The silent majority uses strategic patience, not passivity, showing strength through timely support or silence. That's America's true power. Keep up the fight. Good times coming. Love you guys. We love you too. We love you too. The one thing I learned early on at the comic shop was the customer who just walks away and doesn't come back. It's the worst because you don't know what you did. You have no idea. And it could have been for a lot of reasons. They had financial trouble. They moved. I had a lot of students, but it also could have been, well, I sucked that day. And
you're not helping yourself out this episode.
I don't care.
I heard what I heard.
Yes, you did. That says more, well, as much about you as it does me. I'm a retard. But I did a bad job that day. It could have been that, I did a bad blowjob that day.
You're not helping.
Hard on yourself.
You upgrade that shovel to a backhoe, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
TFW for 60.
Oh my God.
Moving on.
Gary's excited for his date later. It's Valentine's Day.
What have you guys been
Shit. Oh man, I missed one show and it just turned gay as fuck.
You're pent up.
First, the new Cat movie sucks. Second, since the new Fantastic Four film is set in an alternate timeline, who wants to bet that the Earth the movie is set in is going to be Marvel's chance to present some form of socialist/communist utopia? Well, you never can, right, yeah, like I wouldn't put it past him at all. Like Reed Richards' Fantastic Four is, it's perfect socialism, and Reed works for free. No, well, I'm a little that early rumor, which I still think is bullshit, but like Sue Storm being the leader of the FF, that trailer certainly centers around her.
Yeah, she was the dominant voice.
Yeah. So I was like,
because the first half of it is a voiceover by Pedro, and the second half it is a voiceover by her. Yeah.
But the first half, he's like, we show up to dinner at 7:00 on the dot. He's the one that's like giving all the inspirational quotes.
I
would like to see them.
That was her talking to him.
Yeah.
It did.
But I don't know.
I hope they work as equals. That would be my hope. But like I can get over Pedro. I can't get over female Silver Surfer. I can't. I can't.
You can't get over a female?
Silver Surfer.
Okay.
I can get over Pedro. Gary, Nerdrotic.
Pedro. Dude, remember when he responded to it was Jeremy, right? Like he was
I love how this guy says my name or whatever. He responded to a tweet of mine as well.
That's right.
The one that was basically his fucking tweet about Nazis and Trump supporters and everything.
And he mentioned you.
He responded to one of my tweets about that, and then I think he like shared out Jeremy's live stream when he was shitting all over him. He was like, I love how this guy says my name. Pedro.
Hey, they're planning Last of Us for 4 seasons, and Pedro won't be in all of them.
Fuck.
Well, if this is going to do the second game, then where are the other two going to go?
Yeah, so they're
going to be the second game, probably.
Yeah, didn't they? Did they complete the game in season 1? The first one.
It's like I could see them stretching it out to 3 seasons. 4 though. That doesn't make any sense.
No, they want 4 seasons.
Well, do you think they're going to get a Last of Us Part 3 video game?
Not between this time and then.
Hey,
they're not doing shit.
Not in the next probably 8 years.
Speaking of HBO, Ryan Condell said he's finished writing House of the Dragon season 3. I hope so, because you already had 2 episodes written that didn't happen.
Yeah, they were like, "Hey, just so you guys know, the very first thing's gonna be Battle the Gullet." It's like, well,
yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be so weird to start. That's so stupid to start out with like your biggest battle in the entire series.
It's gonna have to be huge. They built up that a lot, so.
It is huge. But
the bigger it is, the smaller the rest of the season's going to be.
Oof. Lots of
I'm
dragons.
moist from this conversation.
Thank you.
Not the starships.
Sharing.
Not the starships.
D didn't do it for you?
Yeah.
What's your favorite dragon?
Not the Star Wars balls.
Van Reef Man for 50 Canadian pesos. Thank you. Cheers. Holy shnikes. Virgin Super Chatter. Oh, hopefully I hit the right one. No. There we go.
I managed to get them all, Gary.
One of those.
I've had this a week.
I just like pressing all the buttons. Valentine's date night tomorrow with the wife, and she chose Captain African Americanos. The things we do for love. Oh, she chose it? And you're married?
And congratulations on your divorce.
Yeah. FNT, and thanks for all the things you do. Cheers. I think I'm taking the wife out for dinner tonight.
Aw.
Yeah. That's all we're doing. Then I gotta get back to work.
Yeah, get back to work.
Deal with a woman. Toxic Man Flu
for $100.
What's up, Toxic?
He really hated Brave New World.
He's a smart man.
Yeah.
Comics made me watch Captain America Brave New World Toilet Wand for his show last night. It was so bad I used AI to create a song about the torture comic put me through called Fuck You Ian K. It's AI.
He did
but
it.
it's definitely better than anything Bon Jovi ever did. Hell, I will agree with that. I will absolutely agree with that. Tox, we love you, man. Trevor N for 100. I actually had to leave the meetup when Drinker and Disparu got to the bar because the music gave me a spitting headache and I wasn't able to get well, don't drink so much. To picture with him and Disparu. That sucks. You could have gone outside.
I didn't go to the bar either. I got into the doorway and stayed there the entire night. I couldn't move.
Can the next meetup be located somewhere more relaxed? Bring on Arch. I'll bring on Arch.
We're gonna have a special room set aside for you and Odin.
Yes, we'll have a quiet room.
Yeah,
we'll put some Legos in there and some coloring books.
The meetup sounded friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
awesome.
how many people did you have there? I was like,
so we had about 700 people RSVP.
Wow,
that's crazy, man.
And so you know, everyone's gonna have a couple things pop up here and there. We also had a lot of people that didn't RSVP. It still ended up there. So I would say we probably had around 700, and I would say throughout the course of the night, as like a couple people filtered out, a couple people that were just coming around as well at City Walk saw what was going on and were interested and came in.
Really?
So we probably, I mean, I would say between 900 and 1,000 people probably walked through there. And
it sounds like it was friggin' amazing.
What was the venue?
It was at the Red Coconut Club. At
Red
Universal
Coconut Club.
City Walk.
It was a fun place.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's where we were last year.
Yep.
And we had it again this year, and we'll see. I think we may try to do something different next year in the same area at Universal City Walk, but maybe a different venue. We'll have to see.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to go bigger, probably. That's what we're shooting for in Vegas. We're shooting for bigger venue because we had to split the meetups last year, so we're trying to do one. So,
yeah, a lot of people asking me when we're going to be going. It's the same weekend as WrestleMania in Vegas.
But
so
we do our meetups on
we do
weekdays.
it for,
So it'll be on a Wednesday or a Thursday, probably a
leading
Thursday.
up to
that,
that weekend.
And we'll let you know. A little behind on schedule right now for everything because of what happened, but we're getting back to it. Melissa's going to be really busy, so I'm going to handle it, and X-Ray Girl and Garrett we'll get it figured out.
But we're probably thinking about that April 15th, 16th, 17th, middle of the week time frame, right?
Yep.
Just so everybody out there knows.
Which is a good time for Vegas. It's not like, hot as the surface of the sun there. It's pretty nice in spring. Plus, it's fucking Vegas. one of the most visited cities in the country. So, like adult Disneyland, where you can lose almost as much money, but not quite as much.
And as Pink's Kitten brought up in the chat, it's right after tax day. So there you go.
There you go. Right after you
get, we're going to celebrate.
Yeah, right after you give all your.
We'll cry together.
Well, maybe Donald Trump will cancel taxes this year. I mean,
that'd be great.
That would be great.
A lot of countries owe us fucking money, and I want it back. By the way,
Yeah.
Peru, I'm looking at you. I want that $50K back for that fucking comic book. My condolences to you and your family, Gary. Sending you and Melissa much platonic love because you get enough gay love on FNQ. That's true. Thanks. So in your absence, FNQ managed to reanimate the corpse of Terry Higginbottom. Terrence.
Terry for short.
If you're going to use my surname, you can't use Terry. If you just want to talk to me, Terry. But if you're using the Higginbottom, you've got to refer to me as Terrence Von Higginbottom.
Can I call you the Higster?
Sure. You can call me whatever you want, baby.
Higgy.
By the way, this is Roland the Wretched.
Yeah, I'm open to that.
Okay, we'll get there.
And even though he is dead, he still brings the gay. Well, he's committed. Gay Garrett ended up paying in advance.
Here tonight.
Gay Garrett ended up paying in advance for a B&B in Florida that didn't exist.
Oh, yeah.
It still makes me laugh.
Did he ever get his money back?
Yes, I did.
Thank God.
I thought you were joking, Garrett. I didn't know.
I thought it was a joke too.
Nope, it was all real. The raccoon.
It was
real.
Because no one could imagine someone being so dumb as not.
Well, you need to expand your horizons, all right? Because there's possibilities out there.
Speaking of possibilities,
he's one of the sweetest guys on the planet, so I can imagine he was really good to that raccoon.
Speaking of infinite possibilities, was I? Alter, after hoeing under the bridge and not earning any money, Perry Chan found Gay Garrett and took him in. I hear they are very happy together. I have bought them his and her towels. There's no fraternization at Nerdrotic, even if it's super gay. Okay, and gets me some check boxes and gets me some USAID's money with my H-1B visa and quarter black dude. No.
We're looking at $50 million, Gary. Come on.
$50 million? That
could be us.
Pretty good. And all you have to do is be in a gay romance with Perry, and I don't have to do anything. Okay, I'm down.
Exactly.
X-Ray Girl proudly posted on X that she has finally hugged Frosk's beaver.
Oh.
When did that happen? What the fuck were you guys doing while I was gone? I can never leave again. Not sure how Mark feels about that, but I wish him well. Have waited over 2 years to mess with X-Ray Girl. Will has appeared on FAQ one too many times, and he is now swapping things with Jeremy. Yeah, like what was that about? They were sharing headphones?
Oh, yeah, when he made that appearance, that did look super gay, to be honest.
Yeah.
Especially because Drinker, so Jeremy's sitting here, Drinker comes down right here, and Jeremy, rightfully so, takes off this earbud to hand to him in hopes that he'd put it in this ear. Instead, he puts it in that one. Really close together.
Did he wipe it off first to get the earwax off?
He did. Earwax and all.
Alas, earwax.
I remember I was watching the live stream. It was an open bar, and I can't remember who the fourth person was, but it was Chris Gore. It was you, and it was Drinker, and y'all had your fucking. It looked like the Jimmy Neutron podcast. Y'all had your fucking hair. Like, what the hell's going on?
There's Krista took a picture of me after I'd fucked with my hair at the Super Bowl, and it looks a lot like Jimmy Neutron. I get that a lot.
Here is a Valentine's Day bit of history. It was named after Roman priests that secretly and illegally married soldiers before they went off to war. The Romans caught on and took his head. The proper observance of the day would be seeing a public execution. Today's read is Corinthians 13:4. Love doesn't envy, love doesn't boast, but it will cost you your head. Hail FNQ, fellowship, chat, mods, Little Thor, and RIP Pizza Time Pizza. Yes, rest in peace. Dan Vasquez, gayer than what happened on FNQ last week. Until next time, so long, gay boys. Toxic Man Flu is back. Jesus. For 100 Says, here's 100 for Gary just sucking today. At least I made something from it because 100 is $100.
Pay that money.
Because $100 is $100. That's great. That's great. Aegon the base for 125 Martian pesos. I request the long man to read my next message in his best Game of Thrones voice. Where's
Game of Thrones voice?
Yeah.
There's a lot of accents in Game of Thrones.
Tywin, just Tywin. But was he supposed to read that one? But I just read it. Sorry, ruined it completely.
Read it like King Bobby B.
It's in the chat now for you, Mahler.
Go find the breastplate stretcher now. I'm trying to like this.
You're on the spot, buddy. No pressure.
Well, I'm trying to choose who I could do. Ned Stark.
Do Ned Stark. Do Ned Stark.
Yeah. Hail Gary, the old man, the first of his name, king of the ANCAPs, the retards, and the gay men, lord of the gamers and protector of the fellowship. Welcome back.
Cheers.
That was
Good. That was beautiful. That was art. I feel moved.
How do you
Or movement. I'm not sure. Winters for $10. A shout out to FNT. Been watching you guys for a while. Nice to see Az back. Hope for some epic rants, but this one is for Mahler. Anyone else notice that Mahler has a keyhole for a nose?
Yes.
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 Who's got the key, Mahler?
Ooh.
As
is the key master.
I am the key master.
He takes care of it.
He does. He does. Miso-san has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you very much. The Norman Conquest for 20 British pounds, proper money. You got to give Captain America: The First Avenger credit. I do. It's a great underrated movie.
Very good.
They got Stanley Tucci, Neil McDonough, Tommy Lee Jones, and Hugo Weaving in one swoop. Yes.
Yeah.
Never to be used again. Best performance goes to Haley Atwell.
Oh,
she has some
Haley
great
Atwell.
assets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great assets.
Was he focusing on a performance or something else?
I wasn't. Jenna Coleman's in it too for like a minute.
Yeah, she's Bucky's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Well,
and what's her name? Girl from, funnily enough, Game of Thrones. She's in it for another 5 seconds too. The Terrell girl. Why am I blanking?
Is that the one that kisses him?
Yeah.
Oh, Natalie Dormer.
Natalie Dormer. That's it.
Walter Frey. Walter Frey's in it too.
Right, yeah.
And that's correct. Thorin is in it.
Yep. He's the assassin.
So many people running around. It's crazy.
A lot of those English actors get passed around to a lot of good shows.
Joe Johnston film.
Yep.
Banger. Go see The Rocketeer if you haven't seen The Rocketeer. It's fucking
underrated
great.
director.
Great.
Dude, underrated director for real. I feel like he gets overlooked so much, but he's done so many iconic movies.
Yeah, he's a Spielberg protege.
Yeah, designed Boba Fett's fucking armor, dude.
That's the quote unquote criticism of him. He's not like the biggest people person. He likes to hide away and work on scripts and do his little sketches and stuff, and just gets to work. And it turns a lot of dipshits in Hollywood off for some reason. Prometheus Creations for 20 says hell will freeze over before Disney stops doing DEI. I agree.
We're blocking the text. The text is the best part of that one.
What dudes for Harris?
Oh.
With the bed right there.
Look at how happy Jeremy is.
I know.
He's as happy as a punk on a pirate ship. As a punk in a pecker patch. Grand Master Chris for $9.99 says, reminder that Luke Skywalker is straight and married to a sexy redhead named Mara Jade. And they had a son named Ben. Captain Kirk said so, and Kirk knows best. Hail FNT. Ryan, shame about Legends Con. Oh, Legends Con. Yep. Yeah, I saw your thing about that. What the hell?
Why was that Luke Skywalker quote making the rounds again? It's
literally just because Shatner was shitting on Mark Hamill and Disney Star Wars. That was it. That's the only reason.
But it's not even Shatner though. He has nothing to do with the account.
What?
No. Shatner likes to shit on people. He likes to shat on people. So
I thought I was Vince McMahon.
I basically made the same exact video today about this that I made like fucking 3 years ago when Shatner tweeted out, so Disney breaks up families and turns Luke gay. Like I used that tweet from him from like 3 or 4 years ago for the video I made today.
Dude,
so he does this from time to time.
Breaking news, by the way. I've known this for a while. I'm blocked by William Shatner.
What
the heck?
I don't even interact with them. Yeah, I'm blocked by William Shatner.
Oh,
Maybe
you know, odd things,
almost bothered me.
Trigger him. Yeah, well, odd things seem to trigger old Will because, like, you see how he also got angry at the I think Red Media guys.
Red Letter Media, yeah.
Red Letter Media guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they love Shatner, but
I still love Shatner. I don't care if you block me. I still love you, man. You're the best captain. I probably got caught up in some collateral damage, or I said something they didn't like.
Probably some Star Trek, whatever, and
yeah.
This might shock you. I got blocked by Sweet Baby Inc.
Why did you do that? You're
What?
the biggest fan.
Shocking.
The one that pisses me off more than any other is actually discussing film, because like
that was a blockchain.
they preemptively block like all of us,
Yeah.
but it's just annoying because you see so many of these tweets out there, you can't fucking interact with it or anything.
Well,
At least
when
it's better now that you can see it. But
when
before,
I was on my Hot Toys account, so when my main account got unblocked, I can see the discussing film tweets.
Dick sucking film. All they do is regurgitate a paragraph from an article that they don't even link to. They'll at least give credit to the site, but that's all they do. Aaron.
They blocked me as well.
Pipes
Discussing film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course they did, Mueller. And you tweet all the time like a 14-year-old
I know.
girl.
I'm just stuck on there.
You and Ryan don't tweet very much.
I am sure it's a blockchain. They hit. I don't know who they were hitting, but they hit the blockchain on them.
Gary staying in Michigan indicates an unhealthy love of his sled dog team. I'm not in Michigan, Aaron. I'm across the lake. I'm in Wisconsin. But same thing. It's fucking frozen and cold. I don't know how
with Red Letter Media, Gary. You're gonna see if you can hook up with them.
Oh yeah, they're in Wisconsin. Are they in Milwaukee? Yeah, I'll go. Yeah. I'll go knock on their door. I'm sure they'll let me in.
And Channel Awesome.
You feel like I'm here to fix your VCR.
Yeah, I should. I should ask them.
Is Mr. Plank at home?
They threw up my thumbnail without watching my video.
Yeah,
about Furiosa. So twice, and Ryan's too. They threw up some of Ryan's too. Yeah, maybe. Channel Awesome was at the Michigan Con with me and Drinker. We were right next to him.
Yeah.
Gene the Revenant for 5 says, I hear Gary likes ships. So I'm recommending the Outlaw Star anime. Lots of space battles with lots of cool ship designs. Hail FNT. Battleship Yamato is the goal.
I've started
Battleship
watching.
Yamato.
I've started watching the remake of it. Star Blazers.
Yeah, Star Blazers is fucking. Star Blazers is brilliant, dude.
I
watched that as a kid. That's how fucking old it is.
So what was the anime they suggested? I want to look it up.
Oh, Outlaw Star. It's all right.
Outlaw Star. I'm looking it up.
Cole Hauser. Ara for 5 Canadian pesos says, hail FNT. Praise Ara 199. Yo, Joe.
Cole Hauser's awesome. We met him this week.
Yeah. He gave you shirts, didn't he?
Did. I've got a real American hero shirt.
Nice.
Magnum Norse for 20 says, Mahler is actually Az. He just puts on a mask and becomes less offensive and more annoying with smart people language. Smart people language. You and your words.
Well, me and Az do noticeably never speak at exactly the same time.
Oh yeah, Az. Yeah, you're the one person Az doesn't talk over.
See,
isn't that remarkable?
It's remarkable.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Aaron Pipes for $10 says, a shout out to Jeremy, Ryan, Az, and Shad for last week's FNT. Who says dem gay boys lack talent? Well, I do.
Most people.
Quite a lot, actually.
But sorry to interrupt Super Chats. I forgot. But we've talked about so much shit. We have to talk about something awesome. I don't know if anybody else has seen fucking Cobra Kai, the last 5 episodes yet. But I'm not going to spoil anything because I know it just came out and it's 5 episodes and all that stuff. But holy shit, what a perfect ending to that series.
Can't wait to see it tonight.
And I think there's been some ups and downs for it as a 6-season show, but the last 5 episodes, it brings it back around to all the characters you want it to focus on, the finality for their arcs that you want to see, and specifically for Johnny and Miguel, it is so fucking good. And is it cheesy and corny at times? Yes, it absolutely is. And this entire show, it's basically this like alternate reality where the 80s never really ended, and this little corner of the valley is stuck in this bubble of people who actually care about karate, and cops never show up when these kids get in karate fights and all these weird things, unless it's very important to the plot. But all told, it is such a great way to do a sequel to a show, and it could have gone wrong in a lot of different ways by reflecting on these characters, one who's the villain, one who's the hero of these stories, and trying to reverse that a little bit. But I think overall, when it's all said and done, what a great sequel to the Karate Kid franchise. And I think everybody's really going to like these last 5 episodes.
Makes me want to watch the rest of it because the first season I really enjoyed. And so
oh, you gotta watch the rest of it.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to Legends.
What?
Karate Kid movie?
That's the movie, right?
The movie?
Yeah, I don't really care too much about that, shockingly, even though like Cobra Kai is like here and just released. But we'll see. I mean, I hope it's good.
It's disconnected, right? It's not
Pretty
like
much,
a direct.
I don't think there's going to be a ton of tie-ins to Cobra Kai.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of tying the movie, all the kind of movies together. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with the series whatsoever. There's going to be no sort of link to that.
Like, why would you have 6 seasons of the show that people seem to like overall, and it sounds like it ended really well, to completely disconnect a film and then try to reconnect to a failed Karate Kid reboot that didn't work?
Yeah,
it's just a strange move.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, I'm not super. I didn't really give a fuck about the Jackie Chan, Jaden Smith one or whatever that was. But yeah, in terms of this last 5 episodes, if you are not fucking jumping off your chair, jumping out of your couch at the end of episode 3, as all these things that you think they could do, they might find a way to do this. Could they fucking do this? And then they do it. And I was hyped as fuck, man, at the end of the 3rd episode of what they just released. So episode 13 of season 6.
Damn, I gotta watch it.
Yes.
Ooh.
So this Rob Nichols one is in 3 parts. X-Ray Girl, are you there? Is she around?
She's in the back.
Yep. In the back. Oh shit. I just fucking got rid of the super chats. I almost got rid of the stream. That would have been bad. Whoops.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie doopsie. Where is it? There, thank you. She highlighted it in yellow. So on brand. Rob Nichols, 3 parts for $30, says longtime viewer, first time chatter. I think I can hit the right one. I did it. I have a request to shout out my favorite YouTube movie reactor, Jen Murray. She loves Star Trek, Lord of the Rings, and classic Bond, among others. Good taste, by the way. Gary should enjoy her Temple of Doom review, where half of her commentary is how much she hates Willie Scott. That would have been my review when the movie came out when I was 14 years old. I couldn't fucking stand Willie Scott. I've softened on that movie. I actually like it quite a bit now. But when I first saw it at the theater, I was like, I fucking hate it. Because I was 14. Probably high. And she's pretty savage about it. Her Star Trek reactions help me feel good about Star Trek again. At a time when it's not easy, her reviews of Unification and Inner Light are both a must-see. Jen's hoping to reach 100,000 subs by her birthday in April. So I hope the folks here can help her out. Is her channel just called Jen Murray? Did I get that right? Did I get the name right? Jen Murray. So it's Jen. If that's the chat, go give it a sub. Check it out. Thank you. Josh Kelsey has dropped $20 and says nothing because that's what Josh does. And Daniel Todd did almost, well, no, he said something here because I can read. For $10 says, hey, it's my 27th birthday today. Oh, youngster. You're almost at the age of reason. Happy birthday. And my parents' 44th anniversary. Holy crap. They must actually like each other. That's good. That's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, happy birthday. You're almost 30. Enjoy it. You're still, you're in your 20s. You're a teenager with rent. M2M for $10. Folks, don't waste time on not Captain Falcon. Bored, numb waste. Go see NZA 2 instead. What the hell is that? NEZHA 2. Is that some anime thing? The first film
is that the one from China? That's like they claim made $1 billion, I think.
Okay. The first film is so good. The second one looks promising. It's only available in the US this weekend. Go Niza. It's Niza. I don't have X-Ray Girl to help me pronounce this yet. War Van Eagle TV for $19.99. Captain Generica, a serum-free world. A serum-free world. There you go.
So accurate.
Paul M for $10 says, Gary, you said that Kevin Feige was quoted to you saying, we did all we could. We did our part for king and country. That was his quote, but that was well after Captain America 4 was made. In response to DEI, you think with all the U.S. aid stuff coming out, he was being literal. Maybe. I don't like, USA, like it was bad. And it's great that they're uncovering the stuff. It's going to be used as an excuse for everything when we can just have the simplest answer is these people really believe this shit. They thought it was the best way to make money through BlackRock and all the other organizations. Plus, they're just in the fucking LA bubble. They are true believers and they will rename stuff and they're not really going to fucking change. They're just going to shut up for a while because they got their ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be worse now because that was getting people into positions. Now those people are there. And so that's why they got the job. They need to keep it going for them to stay there.
Yeah, need to stay vigilant.
Yeah, like Hollywood got their ass beat in the culture war, like a thorough beating. And the celebrities coming out for Kamala, and it actually hurt Kamala, didn't move the needle at all, was something they needed. They needed that humbling. And believe me, that's their currency. Their currency is influence and fame. Fuck the money. They love the influence and fame. And when they're faced with, oh, you're not that influential anymore because you're really good at reading other people's line and pretending for a living, it fucking hurts them to their soul.
Nobody cared.
Well,
whatever's
it's
left
like you said about that director, he just wants to get on and do his work and doesn't go around like brown nosing everybody, and they can't stand it because if they're not constantly affirmed, they deem it as an insult.
Exactly. Yeah. No, he's just a business guy. Great director, great guy, but he doesn't work well in that ass kissing fake ass environment that is in Hollywood. 11 better for $10 says Mahler. If you were to ask 3 Buffy questions to test Chloe Zhao with difficulties from normie to avid viewer to lifelong fan, what would they be? Also, Elden Ring, Night Rain stream with the lads.
Fucking hell. I mean, you should probably answer this as well, Gary, right? So the normie question, probably to just clear it, I guess, I'd ask you what the soul mechanics mean. So what does it mean to have a soul? What does it mean to not have a soul? What does it do to you as a character? That's a huge test of whether or not she's been paying attention. Difficulty up from that? I don't want to get like petty and just say like, how many fucking bullets were in the gun? And blah, blah, blah.
No, I think you go thematically. Right? I think you would just go like, how do you see Xander's story arc?
Something like that. Maybe I'd gone for just, what's Buffy the show about at a core fundamental, and then what's each season's point supposed to be regarding that. And then I guess the expert question would probably be something like, well, to be honest, I was about to say, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind her giving me her 5 best episodes.
Yeah.
With reasons. That's not much of an expert question in the sense that anyone can answer it, but it does change everything depending on your answer.
It does. And like she is supposed to be a big Buffy fan who is now going to be given a lot of money to direct it. Now she's just directing the pilot episode. I think you need to hit up the writers with this too. For sure. It's going to be a massive fucking cringe failure. I would be utterly shocked if it wasn't.
Gary,
And
we'll be at the
there.
doors. We'll usher it in and say, you know what, have a sit down in this dumpster, and we'll just drop a few matches in there, and boom, have a little watch.
Well, what are your feelings on Joss Whedon? You know, that'd be like if you were just like, oh, he's a scum, and like in the show wasn't good because of him, despite him. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I was gonna say she would probably answer it that way anyway, but she's obligated to answer it that way, so there's not much point in asking that question. Though maybe an interesting question is, how much of Joss Whedon do you believe is responsible for Buffy? Like,
That's a good one.
See what she says. She'd probably give a really diplomatic answer, like, I believe that he was very passionate, and the team he brought together were the reason why the show was so good.
And I think that would actually be a good answer for Angel, right? Because he brought together a very good team for Angel, like a really good team for Angel.
I mean, to an extent, I don't want to take away anything from Mutant Enemy for all Firefly, Buffy, and Angel, but you know, like if you're gonna, this is how we do everything, right? A Tarantino film, there's a shit ton of people who work on it, but Tarantino is, you know, So who's the strongest force? Yeah.
Big as 169 for 20 says, what the fuck, Ryan? I was right next to you and you were with this hot female and you hear the song These Dreams and you leave here to start dancing with a twink of a guy. Then you hug and look like you're going to kiss. So disappointed.
Well, first of all, we weren't going to kiss. However, I can't just talk to hot women at these meetups. I have to go and talk to everybody.
Yeah.
But I can neither confirm nor deny that I did go back after. So
there you go.
We'll leave it at that.
There you go. All right. We're going to wrap it up there. We'll get the rest on Monday on Rumble, Nerdrotic Live and Rumble. We'll get the rest. We're going to head over to the Rumble bonus hour. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who super chatted and donated. You kept the lights on. You still keep the lights on. Thanks for all the well wishes. Means a lot to our family. Wanted to say that again. Thanks to the guys for holding it down last week. Thanks to the Modrotics and thanks to all the lurkers. We will see you next week. But if you want to hang on and watch us on Rumble, go over there right now.
Bye.
Bye.